Welcome to the Real Smoke Podcast with your host, Mick and Charles, the podcast that's all about real people, real cigars, and real smoke. Coming to you live from the Real Smoke Virtual Cigar Lounge, bringing you the best of cigars, whiskey, and all the good times in between. This is more than just a podcast, it's a community of cigar lovers. So grab your favorite smoke, pour a drink, and join us as we dive into all things cigars, whiskey, and just having a damn good time. This is the Real Smoke Podcast.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 17 of the Real Smoke Podcast. I am Charles, and with me is the one and the only Mick. We are here live from the Cigar Vault Oakdale Studios, and we have an awesome guest or set of guests for you tonight. But before we get started into that, what's up, Mick?
Not much, brother. Just barely made it in time again tonight, but glad to be here. Excited for another fun, rousing Thursday night with you, bro.
Well, I will say this. It looks like Instagram is working well. It looks like YouTube is up and working well. But it looks like Rumble has taken a shit on us.
Oh, man. That worked out so well last time.
Yeah, that was the one that did well last time. And I don't know what's going on with it, but I will try. It says we are live. But when I go over to the live stream page on it, it says it's offline. So if anybody's listening tonight and watching this tonight, go over to Rumble, check it out, see if we're actually live on there. Who the hell knows? It says it's still waiting. It's still waiting for, everything to connect. So fuck.
Yeah, I will say that Rumble last week, you made that little video before last week's episode and said about watching us on Rumble, and man, I think we hit 100 today with issues with Bam Cigar's interview from last week. So in a week, hitting 100 on there, plus another 80 or 90 on YouTube. Thank you guys. Thank you everyone that's been watching those replays.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome. I mean, we usually get 20, 30 views starting out on YouTube, and it slowly clicks up, but we had a shit ton of views on Rumble right away, and it's growing every day. So Rumble has become, we thought that, Instagram has always done well for us. I mean, I cannot say that, Instagram has let us down. We have exploded on Instagram.
We have 300 new followers since, remember last week we were saying we just hit 4,000. We're now at like 4,300. So, I mean, thank you everyone. It's been such a fun ride for Instagram, Rumble. I mean, all of it's been fun to watch those numbers grow and just, build our community like we always say. So
Instagram grows 300 to 500 followers a week. Yep. YouTube does 2 to 3 maybe a week, maybe. We just hit 130 on that one, so that's not bad. I mean, we've been begging. I feel like a hooker right now. I have been pimping out that one, or being pimped out on that one so much. It's insane. But Rumble, I mean, we're not getting as many followers on Rumble because it's a smaller platform, but we're getting 3 times the amount of views on Rumble. So guys, if you can, go ahead and jump on, go like us and subscribe to us on Rumble, do it on YouTube, help us out, help us get some numbers up. We would appreciate it. So
since I see it sitting behind you, hanging there on the wall, the nice little sign you got there, that was one of my notes for tonight. Does Jen have a sister? I mean, honestly, like, fuck, she gives you cigars, she gives you signs, she gives you booze. I mean, come on, bro. You got it set up, brother.
That sign is freaking fantastic. She had somebody local make it, and it was 3D printed. None of it is ink printed. All the colors in the face and everything is 100% 3D printed. It's freaking amazing. I can't. So cool. I actually told her, as soon as I saw that, I was like, "Where'd you find that? Where'd you get that?" She's like, "It's a local person." I sent her over my business logo, or the TriStar logo, and another logo, and said, "I need quotes on all 3 of these as soon as possible," because the price was so freaking good.
It's amazing. Yeah, it's beautiful, man. And props to you, man. It's awesome. And the little note facts that she gives you every day are fucking phenomenal, man. Like I enjoy reading them. I've been looking forward to them every night. So it's been great.
Yeah, she's fantastic. Flippin' freaking fantastic. Also, the bar area is back in one piece.
Okay. Yeah. How long did that take you?
It took me all day today. Yeah. I had everything tore down. Wanted to put up new lights, by the way. Flying some Eagles green tonight. We had Eagles decided that they were going to completely shut out the Kansas City Swifties. So wasn't a complete blowout, but I think the last couple of scores, or the only couple of scores that Kansas City got, was pretty much, hey, we'll just give you something so it doesn't look so bad.
Yeah, it was against the third stringers. It wasn't great. Not only did the game suck, and it was two of my least favorite teams, the Super Bowl ads pretty much sucked. There's one or two that made me chuckle, but man, it was not my favorite Super Bowl. I will say that. But I mean, hey, it's a Sunday night of football. Last one we'll see for a minute. So yeah, it is what it is.
Well, I mean, can't get the Falcons in there, so might as well get some get two teams that don't care about the play. So
yeah, people don't care what we have to say about football because our team is completely irrelevant. So
yeah, most people when we say that we're Falcons fans, they go, "Where are they from?"
Pennsylvania, and you've been all over the place, but weird.
So really quickly, we have a new hat this week, and I've been teasing it since last week in the videos I've been doing. Put out another one today just to see if we'd get any attention on that one. But
here it comes.
I guess I got to take off the Real Smoke hat and show the bald head. But this week's Hat Palooza is the pink hat from Rebellion Cigars. Rebellion Cigars gave us a couple of hats to give away. That we got a pink one and a black one. I told Jennifer, I said, pick the one you want me to wear. And she said, you don't own anything pink. And for some reason, the pink looks good. Keep the pink. So I have a pink and a black one to give away, but we're only going to do the giveaway for the pink one this time. We'll save the black one for another time, like we were kind of doing with Crown Heads. So probably next week, we will get the information out for this one. The patina one was drawn, and we have a winner on that one. The gifts from last week's podcast and the ones from this week's podcast all go out this Friday. I only mail twice a month just because we have so much shit that goes out in mailing that it's easier for me to do it every other week. So we will get everything mailed out to you starting this Friday. So the person who won last week's hat will get theirs in the mail this Friday. So Hat Palooza is on with this one. So huge thanks to Rebellion Cigars. You guys are freaking fantastic for donating the hat for us to give away. We absolutely love you guys for it. And again, they're just like Crown Heads. They didn't just give a hat to give away. They gave multiple hats to give away, and they said, go to it. So extremely excited for that.
Yeah, thank you, Rebellion. That's really cool. That pink hat does look pretty good on you, brother. I don't know.
Well, thank you.
But, you're welcome. Hey, wanted to shout out two new Patreon subscribers, Tom and Robert, 13 Knives. If you guys haven't checked out his cigar cutters, you need to. So just a little plug for him there. But Tom, guy I work with, real good dude. Give him a shout out too. They both subscribed last week on our Patreon. And my last note, and it may be in your notes. Did you see the post by Brian Matola before we jumped on?
I have not been. The last thing that I saw was when I hit you and the clowns up with the link for tonight. So I have not been online in 3 hours.
Brian's the new father tonight.
Baby was born.
Baby was born.
Nice.
He's posted the picture. I believe his saying was, may your dick be long and your struggles be short and something else. I don't even know, but it was a picture, really cute kid. So congratulations to Brian Matola Cavalier, who is a father. And how did he put it? It was his 57-year-old sperm trying to find something. I don't remember, but it was it was pretty fun.
Congratulations, Brian. We will anybody in that knows Brian or anybody in the club, make sure you reach out to him today. Give him a big congratulations. I know he was extremely excited about the new baby coming along. I've never seen, especially in Memphis when we were talking to him about it, I've never seen somebody glow as much as he did. He was extremely excited to become a daddy again. So that's,
he said it was
awesome.
he knows his heart is big enough to do it all over again, and I truly believe that Brian's a great dude. So congratulations, Brian.
And you were talking about the Patreons. Hey guys, if anybody's interested in joining our Patreons, go check out our Instagram link tree and go click on there and look at the different levels. If you are a brand owner and are interested, we have 3 segment spots left that will take that basically help us out. Everything that we get on here, we turn right back into the show. Basically, what you're doing is paying for shipping when we ship stuff out, and you're paying for the cigars that we're smoking to review on here. We're not looking to put anything in our pocket. We're just looking to break even. And we didn't realize how far from breaking even we would be until about 10 episodes in, and we're like, oh shit. So if you're interested, jump on board. We would love to have you. My last thing is, hey guys, if anybody's watching, make sure you go to YouTube and in the comments type in #RealSmoke to enter in the giveaway tonight. We are giving away 2 $25 gift certificates to the Cigar Vault, and these are our title sponsors. The Cigar Vault, if you go to www.thecigarvault.com to see what all they have some of the best boutique brands on the market right now. Go check them out. If you use, again, Real Smoke as the discount code, you'll get 10% off of whatever you buy. We appreciate the Cigar Vault for jumping on and being on board with us. But tonight we are giving away 2 gift cards from them. We will get your information, send it to them. They'll put you in their system, and you can use they're giving you $25 off of whatever you purchase. Our code will give you 10% off. So huge thanks to the Cigar Vault for everything that you guys are doing for us.
Yeah,
so
thank you guys. Greatly appreciate it.
So tonight we are smoking a very amazing cigar. And like I said last week, I am letting the one, the only Mick go through this one. So Mick, would you introduce the cigar that we are smoking tonight, brother?
I was hoping you forgot. All right. The Cigar Clowns Rodeo Clown. The wrapper is Ecuadorian Sumatra Oscura. The binder is Nicaraguan Brazilian. The filler is Nicaraguan. The price is around $15. And you can use code RealSmoke, save 10% at the Cigar Vault in Oakdale. I'm glad you picked that one and not the one you had last week, because it would have been a butcher job. That wasn't too bad.
The one last week, I should do blooper reels on me trying to say that shit. But the Cigar Vault in Oakdale does have the Rodeo Clown. So if you guys want to try that cigar, or you just want to get some, make sure you go to thecigarvault.com and order yours. Use Real Smoke as your discount code. So you ready to bring on the boys?
Let's bring them on. Do this.
All right. So we are going to bring on our guest of this evening. It is Joe and Ray from the Cigar Clowns. Let's see. Let's bring on one, and let's bring on the other. There we go. Got the boys on. Guys, go ahead and click your mics. Make sure your mics are on, because it does kick you off. What's up, guys?
How's it going tonight? Thanks for having us.
What up?
Yeah, we're excited to have you guys. Welcome.
It's Joe's pleasure. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, man. That's it. All my pleasure. It's cold.
So,
it's cold.
It is cold. You guys look more bundled up than we are. Usually I'm the one that looks like the Eskimo.
Listen, let's get this right off the bat. Right. Let's throw this right out there. Don't feel bad for Joe. Joe causes his own problems in being cold. He doesn't want to get a tent and a heater, so don't feel bad for him that he's cold.
I have heated. I have 2 heaters, and I'm sitting in a heated chair, pal.
Oh, you don't have your hat on. I'm shocked.
Well, that's when I get really freaking cold. Yeah.
Look at me, the old man. I got to wear glasses tonight because my eyes are freaking killing me today. Unbelievable.
So where do we want to start, Charles? You usually have a good starting point for us. Where do we want to start?
Oh yeah,
it's a good starting point, babe.
Let's start from the beginning. One of the things that we like to do is always ask how you guys grew up, where you grew up. Tell us about Ray and Joe as kids.
Troublemakers.
I would
I
never.
don't believe it.
Grew up in
Yeah, Joe,
the,
you could start.
yeah, man. We grew up in Brooklyn, New York. We actually grew up in the same part of Brooklyn, the Bensonhurst area of New York. Very Italian American, Irish
Cephas.
American community. Great to be a kid in the '80s. We rode our bikes. We played football in the streets. We played, stoop ball, manhunt. We were, when we were younger, the street lights came in the summertime. Time to go home. Everybody in the neighborhood looked out for each other. It was a great time in America to grow up, man. I tell you, in the '80s, New York, great. As crazy as the world was, growing up in Brooklyn just felt like small town America. Everybody knew everybody.
Yeah.
And growing up, we lived on, we called blocks in New York City, like, streets. So, we always had rivalries between different streets. So you'd play the other block in football and
20th Avenue,
softball,
West, West 8th.
Yeah, and 18th Avenue. So it was always like a lot of rivalries, but it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. So that's.
I say this all the time, and I can kind of just jump on what Joe's saying. For me, I feel like our generation, like the '80s babies, and late '70s babies, we're the last of that. Had beepers. There was no cell phones. There was no internet. We were the infancy of the internet. You know what I mean? Like it was like.
Disposable cameras,
we're the last. You go into Sweet 16s and having the disposable cameras on the table. You take pictures, and you get them. You see the pictures like a week later when you went to your friend's house to see the pictures. Like, just we lived in the summertime. We lived in the street. You couldn't pull us off the street. We were in the street all day, whether it was playing baseball or football during the day, going back for dinner at night, then going back out at night and playing, like we were saying, manhunt or maybe even roundup, or just hanging out playing basketball under the street lights and stuff like that. And Joe will tell you, where I hung out on this block, 62nd Street, and I grew up on 61st, which is the block up. There was an alleyway behind each house where there was parking. It was one of the only blocks that had like an alleyway. And my mother out of the back window would yell. Like you would be able to hear my mother from half a block away yelling, "Oh, it's time to come home. You're running late. It's the street lights are on. Let's go." When you're much younger. So I think we grew up in a time of like where kids nowadays I don't think can appreciate stuff like that. Everybody's in their tablets. Like even my kids are in their tablets. Their TV shows and toys and stuff like that. But I mean, we were out in the streets from dusk till dawn, dawn till dusk, however you want to call it. It was a good time to grow up, especially in our neighborhood. It was like he said, very, especially the Bensonhurst area was a very close-knit community. Everybody knew everybody, and it was a safe environment to grow up in. And, I don't know who knew this one, whose cousin lived here, who did this. We used to go to the Italian feast every summer, all the Italian feasts. Like you knew how the summer schedule went from the time you got out of school until you went back to school by the feasts in the neighborhood. Like you would have the St. Athanasius feast would start in June, then the 20th Avenue feast would be in July, then the Santa Rosalia would be in August on 18th Avenue, and then you knew the summer was over when San Gennaro in September was starting because you were going back to school. So you went by the Italian feast in the neighborhood to determine how long, your summer calendar for the year.
That's a fact.
That's amazing. Yeah, I gotta say two things. One statement, one question. Honestly, I completely agree because I grew up the exact same way. I grew up in a more rural area, but from the time the sun came up to the time it went down, I was fishing. I was playing with the dudes. I was out there. We were out riding bikes, freaking manhunt, football, basketball. And I agree. I was missing these days of the youth growing up because too many people are connected to electronics. As ironic as it is, we sit here and talk on electronics. But honestly, that's great. But did you guys? So you guys grew up about the same area? Did you guys knew each other? Like you guys were all friends growing up as well?
Not till about high school.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got to know Ray. So actually, Ray went to school with my younger brother in high school. So
okay.
And then
long story short, through a mutual friend of ours, we kind of linked up, and then I said, "Oh shit! Like I know your brother. We went to school together, So we kind of like, oh, you grew up over here. I'm on this block, and then I mean, God, you're talking Joe, what? Almost 30 years at this point.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Okay.
Well, it's
Awesome.
Wow.
Long time,
Well,
man.
going back to what you guys were just saying, I grew up the same way. My dad, every kid in the neighborhood knew my dad. If they didn't know him personally, they knew his whistle. He was one of those dudes who would stick his pinky in his mouth and he
Yeah,
would
yeah.
blast your eardrums out. But you could hear him 3 streets over. And
Yeah.
all the parents in the neighborhood used my dad for as soon as he blew that whistle or he whistled.
Right.
Everybody scattered. It didn't matter if we were in the middle of a game. It looked like, a bomb went off. Everybody was gone. And then my dad would come back 10 minutes later, whether I was in the house or not, and he would go on the back porch and do that whistle one more time because all the kids knew if the parents heard him whistle that other time, their ass was getting busted because they weren't at home. So my dad was the siren for every kid in the neighborhood. So you guys,
awesome.
you said you guys pretty much met when you were in high school. So
Right after high school.
what got you to what got both of you into cigars? Is that something that you both had your own kind of journey into it, or was it something that you guys started together?
No, it was definitely separate for me. I was always fascinated with cigars. I've told the story a bunch of times. I'm sure Joe's tired of hearing it, just like I'm tired of hearing his story before Joe. So my grandfather on my mother's side was always a cigar smoker. His thing was like growing up, it would be like after dinner time, it was outside, light his cigar. He was an Ashton, Connecticut guy on the lighter leaf. He would smoke his Monte Cristo number 2s with his Cubans that he loved. And he would sit outside on the deck in Long Island and he would have his fruit. Then he would light a cigar, and then he would pour himself his little glass of Grand Marnier, and that was his thing. Typical anytime we were there. So as I gotten older, I was always an athlete my whole life. So I got it beaten to my head by my dad, like no cigarettes, no drugs, no nothing. And I was a good boy in high school. I played football from the time I was 5 all the way into my early 20s. And I always had that athletic mindset. I'm like, I'm not, I don't want to mess with this and that. But I always had a fascination with cigars. I always like the smell of it. I always enjoyed watching the whole setup. It's like, it's like this, like we do now. You sit down, you get yourself settled down. You make sure that you have time to smoke your cigar. You enjoy it. You have conversation. So I think the first time I smoked with my grandfather, I was not too long. I'm going to say like maybe 20. It might have been before my 21st birthday. And I asked him, I'm like, listen, I was like, I want to smoke with you. He's like, yeah, really? I'm like, yeah. I was like, he goes, there's a lot of things, you can't inhale. I'm like, whatever you're going to tell me, I'm going to follow to a T. You might turn green. You might get sick. He's trying to like scare me out of it. I'm like, nah. I was like, let's do it. What's the worst that can happen? I hate it. So I smoked with him. Didn't get nauseous. You got a little lightheaded because just that first nicotine high. First time you put tobacco on my body. Period. I never did any type of tobacco product ever in my life. I powered through it. And the first cigar I ever smoked was a Monte Cristo number 2, a pure, like the Cuban. My grandfather had a box that he would get consistently that was just Cuban cigars, and that was his go-to. I smoked it and I champed through it. I had a little glass of Grand Marnier. With mom's permission, of course, because I have an Italian mother, so you can't do anything without getting permission. So it's just like you had ex-mom. It's a cool, So that was how my journey initially started, and then fast forward, you're going through your phases of kind of finding your way. We call it. We enjoy have had this conversation multiple times with people who are just kind of getting into the industry. You can get recommendations, but you got to find your own path, right? So like you don't know what your palate is, what you're gonna like, what you're gonna kind of gravitate to. So like for me, I went to Essence because I'm like, oh, flavor, infused. Oh, it's got a sweet taste. It's this, it's that. And then I kind of journeyed through that, and then. No, I would always smoke like the bigger ring gauge cigars because I was big back when I was younger. So I was like, I can't smoke a little tiny cigar. With these sausage fingers, I'm look like I'm smoking a cigarette. I'm smoking weed with it. They need something that's like, it's gonna say, hey, that's a big cigar, right? So Don Diego, Baccarat, the Consigliere when it first came out back in the day. There was another one I can't think of it right at the moment, but So I then our old partner Nick, who we kind of me and Joe met through Nick. He's the one who kind of introduced me to the premium cigars. Once I put another Drew State Undercrown in my mouth, I never looked back. I never touched another acid. I never touched another infused cigar. I never went back. I never really. I kind of elevated myself. I didn't kind of like backtrack. I kind of like left that behind. That was like my infancy stage of when I started. And once I got into the premium cigars, I fell in love with Drew Estate. I fell in love with Jonathan Drew. As far as his love for the leaf and just what they were bringing to the table at the time. Going back 20 years ago, and just premium. All the way through. I don't want to take too much light away from Joe. I know Joe's, looks like he's gonna fall asleep. So I want to give him some a little tag.
I'm enjoying the story.
I could talk for hours, unfortunately.
I'm enjoying the story, man. Like every all the other.
You just enjoy me. Sorry.
I do.
Well, I will say this: that there's a lot of people on here, and again, we like to pride ourselves in catering to either new cigar smokers or new boutique cigar or craft cigar smokers. So I would say there's a lot of people that's listening to this that know your stories, but again, there's probably a lot of people who's going to listen to this that have no clue about any of your stories. So, and for someone who loves stories,
I love talking about it.
Story on.
Yeah.
So what was your journey?
Well, my journey was growing up. My uncles all smoked cigars, especially my Uncle Lou. I was very close with and fond of. And, I always wanted to smoke a cigar with my Uncle Lou, my Uncle Pete. And, when I was in high school, I had that opportunity and didn't look back from there, man. Definitely stole a lot of cigars from them throughout the years. Very blessed, man. I love the smell. My father was not a cigar smoker. He was a cigarette smoker.
My dad, too.
I smoked cigarettes, unfortunately, for a very long time. I love the leaf, man. I got started with cigars, and then I was fixated. I'm just gonna go back to the '90s, right? When cigar smokers in the '90s are not like cigar smokers today. And why I say that is, you found a cigar and you bought boxes of it, and that was the cigar you smoked. You didn't smoke other cigars. That was the cigar you smoked, and once in a while you would change, a cigar here and there because they didn't have your brand or whatever it was. So, that's the way it was for me for a very long time. Smoked the same cigars. Like Ray said, the whole Drew Estate thing. I came up with that Drew Estate movement.
Yeah, we all did.
And I was big on Papas Fritas, man. Papas Fritas was my jam, and I remember smoking a number 9 pig. This is going way back, and I called my buddy Nick. He was one of the founders of the Cigar Clowns as well. I called Nick right after I smoked. I was at a card game. I was like, Nick. This guy Nick was able to find any cigar that you smoke and be able to find it. Like, I'll call this place, call that place. This is like when the internet was in its infancy stages.
Lounge troll.
Yeah, I was like, Nick, I just smoked a cigar. And it was a Drew Estate. It was short, fat like a barrel, and it said number 9 on it. He's like, oh, you smoked the number 9 pig? I was like, oh, bro, great cigar. He's like, yeah, it's phenomenal. I was like, I need a box. He's like, good luck. I was like, what do you mean good luck? He's like, you can't find that cigar. He's like, I can't believe you smoked it. That's like a $50 cigar. That's right. They were sold out. You can only find them from people who were selling them second or third hand. And man, I felt love. I was like, I chased that cigar for a long time. And then when they came back on the market, I probably still have a whole fucking shit ton.
It's a great stick.
Yeah, great stick.
I will say this, that hearing that you guys, that the cigars that you started really liking at the very beginning, mine was the Undercrown Maduro when it was with Drew Estate. Then it became the Undercrown 10. But the cigar that got my journey was, Room 101. I got heavy into them. My wife, she was one of those who would smell a cigar. She'd be, okay, it smells good. She might take a puff here or there. But she just happened to be in a lounge, and she was walking by into the humidor and saw a Liga 9. This was back in Saka Malilo days. She looked at that and said, I like the way that one looks. I want to smoke that. And I was like, your first cigar is going to be a Liga 9. I was like, maybe not. No, I think I need to do this. I was like, she got that thing. She smoked it all the way through and went, I think I like cigars. And it's like,
Go big or go
your
home.
first cigar was a Liga 9.
That's
and
awesome.
That turns you on to it. It's like,
That's
cool.
awesome.
Awesome.
Talking
That's
about the
awesome.
soccer days in Drew Estate, my favorite cigar was the Dirty Rat. And I don't know if you guys remember the boxes. They used to come with a little note in there. It was pretty much like, I don't remember what it said, but it was pretty like, go fuck yourself. If you don't like the cigar, I do. You know, this is what I smoke. And, that was like my favorite freaking cigar.
The beginning days of Saga.
Yeah. He's the fucking champ, man. I'll tell you.
Yeah, my favorite originally was the Feral. I loved the Feral. The Feral was my shit. And then I kind of gravitated around a little bit and wanted to kind of taste everything in the Unico series. But I mean, still to this day, it's the Velvet Rat for me. I mean, it's not even a competition in my eyes. The
I
Velvet Rat
have
is
never
my
been
favorite.
able to find that one.
It's great.
Really?
It's a great one. That's for sure. I do want to, like, we're talking about, Drew Estate when it was in its infancy, right? When it was coming up, when it was boutique, when it was hard to get. So that's why when you guys said before boutique and craft, right? What is your definition of boutique and craft now?
I love this question.
Because everybody has a different definition. So I want to hear what you guys are telling your audience what boutique and craft cigars are today.
Man, we've never really talked about this. This would be interesting. So I feel like I'm getting interviewed right now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I love it.
Clowns, right?
Quid pro
You want me to start, or you want to start, Charles?
Take it, boy.
All right. So in my opinion, honestly, we've never talked about this. In my opinion, I like the word craft better for guys like yourself, like Banff, like some of those, like I say smaller brands, but they're not even smaller brands. They're the ones that aren't on everybody's radar. Because even brands like Room 101 and ones that are considered boutique, which I guess I would probably consider boutique, and then more craft would be the guys that are either just starting out or not as heard of in the open general market, in my opinion. But I mean, I think they both kind of fall into the same realm. They're not like legacy brands. They're not those brands that have been around forever, the names that everybody knows. But anyone in our world would know a Foundation, a Room 101 that I think is still kind of considered boutique, because it's not that huge brand that's in every store and every tobacco store across the world. So I don't know if that sums it up well, but that's kind of how I feel about it.
So I like to use the phrase craft. That tends to be what I have gone towards. And I think about it more along the lines of the craft beer movement. To when you go into a place that is serving a bunch of craft beer where they're making it in-house, they have their hands in it. The quality is controlled drastically better than, Budweiser is. They have their hands in it. The person making it knows the ins and outs, everything that it takes to make that beer. I think about a craft cigar brand being the same way, that the owner or the blender, they're all working together hand in hand, that they have their hands and their fingers into every piece of tobacco. It's not some CEO at the top of this high chain of command who says, hey, we need another cigar. Y'all go bring us another cigar that is like every other cigar that's on the market. This person is there day in, day out, taking 2 and 3 years to blend one cigar that he hopes or she hopes everybody is going to like. So to me, craft it's that quality control. It's that personalization of every cigar. It's the person who isn't worried about the corporate being what makes the cigar. It's his heart, his passion, or his or her heart, her passion into every cigar that's making it into that box. That would be my thought behind it.
Gentlemen, I love your answers, man. I mean, they're both great answers, and and to me, I look at the craft, and I see Blue Cross is commenting. Another great boutique craft.
I like that response by Lou.
Yeah, Lou says craft is about hands-on and nerding out over the process, a state of mind. Boutique to me is more about the production over and quantity.
Very well put, Lou.
Very well put.
I will also tag on to the backside of that and say that I think it's the connection that craft owners want to have with their consumers and with the people out there. That makes all the difference to me, because like they want to know who's smoking their cigars. They want to know how they feel about it, good or bad, and they really want to be involved in it instead of just pumping it out, trying to. I mean, either way, I think they fall kind of in the same realm, but that little extra with craft to me makes all the difference, because they really want to hear that feedback and be involved.
I really don't think we're going to have the CEO for General Cigars on here asking us what we think about their cigars, but there's a good chance that we're going to have, you guys asking us how we think, what we think about your cigars, or Lou coming on and saying, hey, I really actually am interested in what you think about my cigars. So,
Right.
I mean,
It's
it's
and
that
like
heart, that caring.
the rodeo clown that we're smoking tonight, passion play. It took us over a year to get this blended, and then we aged it for a long time. We learned about aging cigars. Like, we took a master class on aging cigars with this particular cigar. We were after a Sumatra cigar for a while, and we had a blend that we absolutely loved, and we brought it to market as a test. Right, small guys, we can do that. We can roll the dice, and we got unbelievable feedback. But the cigar wasn't there, right? It just wasn't there. So we talked with a bunch of people, and we came across a good friend of ours, Tony Barrios, Stallone Cigars, another boutique guy, and we sent him some cigars. Give us some feedback. And he's like, I love this cigar, but it needs something. We're like, yeah, that's what we're talking about. Like, let's talk. And
this one's Josephus.
Yeah, what's up, brother?
No, he said which one was the one I didn't like first. Was it the Rodeo Clown or the King of Clowns? It was this.
It was the Rodeo Clown. And, we put a double binder on this. We added some Brazilian tobacco as a binder on, and it totally changed the whole flavor profile. We made the ring a little bigger, so it totally changed the profile of the cigar, and it just, for us, a home run. And when you're talking craft cigars, and this industry is so open, like, you could talk to masters in this industry, and they'll give you honest feedback, and help you along the way. Because, like, at the end of the day, the big guys want to help the little guys succeed. Most of the big guys. There's a lot of big guys just want to put your thumb on you and just fucking stomp you out. But most of the, because this belief brings people together. People have been smoking, forever, smoking cigars, and I like to say it's the only thing you can walk into a cigar lounge, and you can be worth $100 million, and you can be sitting next to a guy that just was not able to pay his rent. You know what I mean? And or just broke up with his wife, or just whatever it is, and you can have a conversation with somebody who you walk by in the street, and if they were having a heart attack, you wouldn't even stop to give them CPR. You know what I mean? But when you're at the lounge and you're fucking smoking a cigar, the world stops. You want to learn about somebody. You want to talk to somebody. It's just a great thing. It's just a great thing. And the craft cigar movement, you're right. It has ties to the community. We really want to know. We want to know about Mick. We want to know about Charles. We want to know about your family. You smoke my cigar. What do you like? You don't like it? No problem. Here's another cigar. I have other plans. What do you like? We don't release a lot of our information about where we get our tobacco from, who's blending our cigars. I mean, we do. Some of our cigars, you said Ish manufactures one of our cigars, two of our cigars actually. We have, Tony, we have a couple people doing our cigars. But the reason for that is because people have a stigmata. I don't like what's coming out of XYZ factory. We deal with cigar nerds, right? We're in the craft cigar movement. I don't like the tobacco that's coming out of XYZ farm. Well, yeah, but if I was given tobacco, the same set of tobacco you were given, and the same set of tobacco Mick was given, the same set of Ish, and the same set Tony, we're gonna come up with fucking 5 different cigars. You know what I mean? We're not gonna have the same. We're all gonna have a different palate. We're gonna have a different interpretation of what we think the best blend is. So, I'm sorry if I'm rambling right now, but
No, keep going, man.
No, Joe,
You're
it's
doing
fine.
good.
Take a breath, but it's okay.
Yeah, that's
Perfect,
what
man.
I really feel like you can give 20 people in our industry the same fucking tobacco, the same wrapper, the same binder, and the same fillers, and they're all gonna come up with different ratios, and we're gonna have different cigars, man, which is fucking cool as fuck.
We talked about that with Ish. You could hand over all kinds of different
Great
baking, the
interview,
exact
by the
same.
way.
Yeah. Say thanks. I think Ish said it. Thank you. I think Ish said you give everybody the same thing to bake a cake with, the exact same ingredients, and every cake would turn out different. And yeah, spot on, man. Like we love this industry, and we love what's coming. Especially out of you guys' line. Like that's why we love doing this, because we get to see the people behind the brand, and kind of get to know the people behind it. Because we can go and pick up your sticks and we enjoy them and whatever, but it does mean a little bit more when you actually get to know the people behind it and your thought process and actually making these blends and these cigars. So
Absolutely.
So you guys, you both had your own different journeys going into cigars, which, everybody had, goes their own path. What brought you guys together again? I know you guys were friends in high school. So what brought you guys together smoking cigars together?
Our buddy Nick. That's it. I mean, my best friend Nick, Ray's good friend Nick. We used to get together every Friday, and
Speaking of the man himself.
Yeah.
Love you, Ish.
There you go. What's up, brother? So we get together every Friday and smoke a cigar, and then we started smoking the same cigar every Friday, and just from there, and just talking about notes and things like that, and what'd you get off the cigar? What this one get off the cigar? It's cool, man. It was just a good time in the backyard. Just
it was
out.
a running theme. Yeah, we would hang out on Friday nights, and that was our thing. And then we kind of gravitated towards when they started doing events. Like we had it was a yearly thing for us. We would go up to Split Rock every year in PA, and we would do Cigar Fest every single year for consecutive years, and stay the whole weekend and do the whole thing and buy the bigger package. And we'd rent when you were able to smoke in the rooms at Split Rock, which you're not allowed to do anymore. But yeah, you see, and we would just go. We would travel, man. We would do when Drew State started doing the barn smokers, man. We would do the barn smokers. We were constantly in lounges, and then it kind of started us as like the core 3, and then it kind of bloomed, right? So like for me and my day-to-day job, my buddy Murph was one of our partners when we first started up too. One of my work buddies got into cigars, kind of got into our little crew, and he would come and do those things with us. Same thing with our partner Danny, who's not here, who's still with us, and he's our back office guy and chief operating officer of operations behind the scenes, with him and his lovely wife Roseanne, who do all of our inventory and shipping and storage of the cigars. And Danny is I tell people all the time, I'm a divorced dad of 2, and he's friends on the other side. So, myself and him, we kind of developed our own friendship over 20 years. And I tell people all the time, it's a joke. I said, I want him in the divorce, but, which is a positive for me, I guess,
So
but
you're starting into the next question. So how did Cigar Clowns start? I mean, obviously you guys were smoking and you had your own crew that traveled around together. How did the name happen? How did the whole idea go from we're just a group of boys hanging out and having a good time and traveling to let's do something about it?
The name has been around for a very long time, believe it or not. So kind of touching on what Joe was talking about, hanging out in Nick's backyard. I'm a big movie buff, as a lot of people in my personal life know, and actually even in the industry. And I'm a big mob historian. I like, mob movies, we grew up around it and stuff like that. Not that I condone anything that they, stood for in a lot of ways, but I was a big fan. My top 3 movies of all time, as far as that genre is concerned, is obviously The Godfather. Gets kind of put in the rafters for me. It doesn't even have to be hold the #1 spot. It's the #1, movie for me of all time in that genre aspect. But, Goodfellas, Casino, and Bronx Tale probably my top 3, favorite
Bronx
mob
Tale
movies
is
of
my
all time.
favorite of all time.
Yeah. So, but with that being said, Nicky was breaking balls one day. We were hanging out on a Friday night on Staten Island when he had his first house in Staten Island. And again, I say it every time I get asked this question. I don't remember to this day what he was breaking our balls about, but I was like, "Oh, what am I, a fucking clown? What am I here to amuse you? Well, what are we doing?" He goes, "That's what we should go. We should call a cigar group. We're a bunch of clowns, a bunch of cigar clowns." So the name's been around for since 2003, Joe, 2004 maybe.
Long time, man.
That was like our little crew thing that we started off with, and then Facebook was in its infancy, and we had a Facebook page group and people we hung out with, and our first original logo, which I don't have my box out here, was the Tilly clown from Coney Island. Because again, growing up as kids, we went to Coney Island all the time, so it was like our first little bunch of nobodies from Brooklyn hanging out, smoking cigars, doing the the club thing and whatnot, and fast forward to 2018, we decided to, there's this local place out in Jersey over the bridge, and was it Raritan, Joe? Is he in Raritan? What do you call it, cigars?
Yeah, he's over there.
So we made a cigar with him. He's got some like Dominican, fresh rolled stuff, and we made a cigar. We made this little cheap, little corny little band that Joe printed out and had the logo on it, and and we gave it out to our friends and family, and cool and stuff like that. And then fast forward to the pandemic, we were all we're all blue collar guys. Joe's a business owner. I do blue collar work. I'm in the construction industry, and Danny's an elevators, and Murph worked with me, and Bart and Nick, Bart was one of our other partners who was friends with Nicky. We're in the Department of Education. We weren't working during the pandemic. We were all working during the pandemic, and every night we would get on a Zoom call, and we would just hang out and smoke cigars every night. And we made no baseballs and nothing going on. As everybody know, we were locked down, so we would smoke cigars every night. It's kind of like our escape from reality of the situation of the craziness that was going on in the world at the time. And by going to all kind of circling back around to all these events and things that we used to go to, we made a lot of connections and a lot of people that we knew in the industry. And we sat there one night like, "Oh, let's we made a cigar before. It was local, but let's go out and let's make a couple of phone calls, emails. Let's see if we can do something. We got nothing else going on at the moment. Let's try to maybe get involved in the industry." And made a couple phone calls, and I tell the story all the time. There was a factory through a mutual friend of ours that was down in Nicaragua, and they had an allotment of cigars that was sitting there. And, again, in the industry, and Fish will probably tell you that sometimes you do blends for people and they don't like the results of them, and they kind of just sit there. They don't get rid of them. They don't destroy them. So they were sitting there, with the whole thing with the pandemic, things weren't moving. So they sent us up some samples, and we enjoyed it, and we brought them up, and we sampled them, and we loved them. And like, oh, let's kind of do the same thing we did in 18, and let's give them out to our friends and family. And we did that, and people loved it. "Oh, it's great. You guys going to do another one?" So one of the other herfs that we had not too long after that was like, we sat down as a collective, the 6 of us at the time, when there were 6 of us at the time, and we said, "Hey, if we're gonna really potentially think about doing this with the connections that we made, we got to go full scale into this. We got to do like a branding and all that stuff." And 36 cigar releases to date in 2025. With 4 call lines at this point, that's kind of like the humble beginnings for us. So when we started, we started doing like these small batch runs. That's how we built our reputation. We built our name, doing these small batch runs. And, we created a lot of FOMO, and people were loving our stuff and what we were doing, and putting out and selling out quickly, and, kind of just rolling them out. I think we were putting out a cigar every month or every 2 months in the beginning. We had access to a lot of, good tobacco, and, we got all our T's crossed and I's dotted, and, we just, we kind of continued to roll, and just, built an Instagram following from the ground up, and Facebook, group from the ground up. And, it's like I said, to us, where we're at now, and, 4 call lines and humble beginnings. This is where we're at now, the Cigar Clowns, into early months of 2025.
So Larry asked, do you guys still hang out with the original crew?
I just want to say, hey, Larry.
Hey, Larry.
Yeah, man. So we definitely still hang out with the original crew from time to time. Me and Ray were just hanging out with Murph the other day in one of our shops. As you get older, right? People have families, and so you don't get as much time as you used to get with your friends, right? If you think about life, when you're younger and maybe you're dating somebody, you hang out all the time, then you get engaged and you get married and you get kids, and then everybody's I'm running around for football, you're running around for freaking soccer, you're running around for dance. Life goes quick, man. So we definitely try to hang out as much as we can with the original guys, but it gets harder as time goes on. That's definitely for sure. I do miss the days. I tell you that much. I do miss the days.
Yeah, I believe time does get away from us a little, all of us, and we get a little bit older. It's harder to keep up with everybody. Especially, I moved away about 2 years ago, man, and it makes it tough to stay in contact with those people. But when you do get together, it's like you never missed a beat, man. So it's that's how you know who your true friends are.
Yeah,
I was gonna.
like even not to cut you off, Nick, but that's even like us. Like, I mean, me and Joe consistently see each other pretty often for the most part because we live closer together, and we got Danny up in Central North Jersey, South Jersey, whatever he define, whatever Jersey people define as what Central Jersey is. To me, where he lives is Central Jersey, but other people will say different. But we talk, we talk consistently every day for the most part. We have our weekly meetings with one another, on stuff of the business, but we don't get to see Danny as much as we'd like to sometimes. But me and Joe try to link up, whether I go to his house or we link up in a lounge or. But I mean, for the most part, we talk all the time. But it's hard, day to day, operations as far as family, work, and everything else. Unfortunately, this is not a full time. It's a full time job, but it's not the full time job at the moment. So,
I hear you, man.
Really not allowed to come to my house anymore. Last time
you're gonna start your shit now.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna start, man. Him and my dog broke one of my wife's family heirlooms. So. Ray he's allowed to come by the house outside. No, he's allowed, but I gotta break his balls every chance I get. Him and my dog. If you guys don't, I have a high energy dog, a Belgian Malinois, and very high energy. And my dog loves Ray, man. Ray knows the dog since he's a puppy. My dog thinks he's a lap dog to Ray. And
got pictures to prove it.
Yeah, So when my dog sees Uncle Ray, my dog's next level nuts. And Ray was going in. He had a few pops. He had a couple of drinks. We were having a good time on my balcony, my porch, whatever. And goes inside, and him and the dog are playing, and it broke my wife's grandmother's.
Yeah, it came over on the Mayflower. He's gonna tell you, and all this shit, and blah blah blah.
The plant had to be like 100 years old.
Emotional damage.
Yeah. It was rough. And my wife had to clean it. Like we were outside drunk laughing, and my wife's on the floor cleaning the fucking pot and the plant, crying. Oh, it's terrible.
Oh, don't worry about it. He still makes me feel bad about it to this day. So don't.
Every opportunity I get.
Every opportunity. Because the Belgian Malamute, they think especially in his they're he's trained. He's like a friggin' FBI dog. So it's like I can't walk to the bathroom without him walking in between my legs, like he's protecting me from something. So
Yeah.
But I go home with bruises on my nuts, but it's all right. We deal with it.
I will also say I give you guys a bunch of credit for all the work you do in the company, because I can only imagine, because Charles and I swear, I talk to him more than I talk to my wife most nights, trying to get shit set up in the podcast. So it is a full-time job after your full-time job, for sure.
Yeah, Joe's wife will say, like, didn't you just talk to Ray in the meeting? I'm like, yeah, but we got something else that we need to discuss. What do you want? I get the same thing from my girlfriend. It's like, you just talked to Joe. I'm like, what do you want? But listen, it's what it is. We're talking non-business.
Yeah, it's fun. It's rough. You laugh, you cry, you beat your head against the wall.
Mm-hmm.
You try to make everybody happy. In this industry, you don't come into the craft cigar industry, boutique cigar industry to get rich. If you want to make $1 million in the cigar industry, you got to start with 5 million. You know, it's there's a lot of lessons to learn, and you know, I'll throw a huge shout out to Ish. Like, we almost lost all of our cigars, and we had a problem with importing our cigars. You know, the paperwork wasn't right. We didn't have the right license. The broker we were using, it wasn't just everything that could have went wrong went
Everything
wrong.
took a shit.
Yeah, everything. And you know, the factory wasn't helping us because they got paid. They sent the cigars. They're like, you know, we're done here. You know, nothing we could do for you. And, you know, last ditch effort, Hail Mary. I called Ish. He's one of the nicest guys in the industry. And he was like, and our cigars were less than 24 hours away from being destroyed. They were being held in a secure facility in Kentucky. And, you know, they were going to be destroyed. 24 hours, we got the notice. And I called Ish, and he's like, all right, you know, send me all the information you have. I was texting him, and the next morning at like 7:30 in the morning, he called me. The cigars are on the way to my facility in Miami, and as soon as I get them, I'll ship them to you. This guy did not need to help me out. We were not his customer. We were just acquaintance. And let me tell you, my loyalty to Ish is never ending, man. You know, like I said, he makes 2 of our cigars. We just added the Vitola on one of the cigars he makes for us. He's, you know, we do a yearly release as well. I don't know if you guys know, we have a cigar, the Festivus.
Yep.
Ish is blended the Festivus for next year for us, which is freaking dynamite, man. You know.
5-year anniversary of the Festivus, by the way.
Oh, hell yeah.
5-year anniversary, man. Yeah. So
that's one of the other sticks that I've had of you guys. I really enjoyed that. I think I had it 2 years now, and I also had the Goldie Grace, obviously, which you guys worked on with Shafio on. They had very high things to say about you when we had them on the show. They love talking with you.
We love Crystal, man. We talk about real people, and that's the cigar industry, right? You meet somebody, you talk with somebody. Hey, you want to work on something together? Let's do it. The Goldie Grace was born. The cigar is absolutely phenomenal. Goldie Grace went from being just a limited run to make some money against human trafficking. I have to always, you know, say against human trafficking, not for human trafficking.
We made money for the fight against human trafficking.
Yes.
There you go.
We're not for human trafficking. And Goldie Grace was such a hit, and we sold out in record time that we started a new company. You know, Goldie Grace is its own entity now. She's coming back out. I have a little problem with boxes, which is like the industry norm right now. So if anybody's listening wants to make a lot of money, make cigar boxes. You'll have customers like, hey, Lee Mac, what's going on?
I got to give Lee Mac a huge what's up, Lee Mac, brother. This guy has reached out to me and said when we first started the podcast, and told us that if we ever had any questions, that he would be more than willing to be there, because a lot of people won't be there. And he actually gave me a cell phone number and said, reach out, let's talk. Me and him spent some time talking and gave me some of the best advice that I could have ever asked for to be in the podcast industry.
Lee's a stand-up guy in the industry, man.
Lee Mac, love your brother. Thank you for jumping on here.
Yeah, gentlemen's gentlemen. You know, that's what the cigar industry is about. You know, 99 out of 100 people in this industry are freaking great. I'll say that to 999 out of 1,000. You will run into a snake here and there. You know,
I will.
It is what it is.
Ray's biting his tongue.
I gladly bite my tongue.
That's it.
I will say though too that like everybody talks about geeking out over blends and binders and different profiles on cigars.
Right.
I kind of geek out by what we get to do every Thursday, by actually hanging out and talking to you guys and getting people. I mean, yes, we've had you guys on the HERF before, and we usually do that with some of the other people before we get them on the actual podcast. But actually having you guys on here and getting your story out, your background, and just to seeing you know, we have these normal conversations, these real conversations that are just fucking awesome. And I appreciate you guys' time to jump on here because it's a great industry, man.
It really is.
Absolutely.
I will say this: you guys were.
Sorry, I like to throw fire in the flame. Sorry.
That's funny. You guys were talking about Ish, and you know, before we met Ish and had him on here, we had so many different people, you know, that we know and that's in the industry talk, you know, so highly of Ish, and that he's, you know, he's a wealth of knowledge. He's a good guy. He, you know, he's awesome. And then getting him on here and talking to him and realizing the dude's a stand-up guy. And then again, you guys talking about him, it's like every time you turn around, you realize how good of a guy this man is. So I mean, it's becoming one of those things where it's like, damn, I'm glad I got to talk to the guy.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. I wish you could bottle some of his.
You opened up the shop. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
I wish we could bottle some of his fucking energy though too, because holy shit, that guy has he does like 100 things in a day, and he's like, yeah, it's only noon. I got time to do 100 more. It's
100
like,
things in a day, and you get him. Yeah, and you get him when he's drinking wine and smoking cigarettes. It's even better.
That's it.
There's knows what I'm talking about if he's still here.
A vintage Winston.
So, what? I know you guys did some local stuff. You blended some local stuff. You had some local cigars. What was the cigar that you guys put out that ended up being the one that you were like, oh shit, we've got something here? Not something that was local to your community, but that cigar that was like, everybody fucking likes this cigar. We have something. We can't let this go.
I think it might have been the Crinkles. Because we bootlegged.
I disagree.
With the mark.
I disagree.
Which one? I don't even know now.
The Ron.
The Ron. Oh yeah,
the Ron. That was such a good cigar.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That was what put us really kind of in the stratosphere. In my opinions are different, right? That's just my personal opinion. I think for us, where we were at and having a major distributor come in and reach out to us and what we were kind of doing underground and loved what we were doing and bringing us to the forefront and being able to showcase stuff like that and be able to work with certain types of people. I mean, having AJ Fernandez bless us with a blend that was from his family reserve that was never released, that was blended specifically for us to release, and then having it as a Redux as the not run in a bigger size. A year later, around the same time that we released the Run, that kind of gave us a lot of notoriety moving forward, and it helped build our mystique, let's call it, right, and kind of pushed us and kind of elevated us a little bit, and we got a lot. We were crashing from websites. We were selling out. Like I said, we were creating that FOMO. We got a lot of great support from the industry. There were articles written about it. I think Halfwell did an article on the ROM when it originally came out. So I mean, yeah, that was a big boost for us. And we kind of did the grind and we put in the work to, promote it and market it and do what we needed to do with it and get it out there and doing release parties and all that other stuff and doing social media stuff and everything else. But I think for us as a brand, that was kind of a milestone for us from humble beginnings of. We kind of call it like, Joe kind of says like, we were the bootleggers, man, back in the 20s and the 30s, when for Prohibition, we were bootlegging, we were selling out of the trunk, we were, doing, the behind the scenes shit, just kind of hustling cigars, hustling and grinding every day to build a name and to build, a reputation and, kind of to get to that aspect of like the midway point for us to kind of elevate us to that next level. And I tell people all the time, man, like, it's not easy. People think it's like, oh, I'm just going to put out a cigar and, this and that. It ain't all sunshines and rainbows, man. Joe will tell you, man, that's why he's smiling, tears, ups and downs, hurdles, bruises, band-aids, laughs, joyous moments. But, we're still climbing that mountain every single day, even now. Just because we have 4 call lines doesn't mean that we're just going to sit back. And you know what? I kind of circle back around what we were talking about earlier, with humble beginnings. Like for us, when we sat down originally to kind of go full fold into this and, get trademarked and kind of, solidify us as an actual brand and doing all that stuff. I mean, for us, it's a humble experience at one, but we made a commitment to ourselves as a brand, like you guys were talking about earlier. With how many is the CEO of General Cigars going to come on here and say X, Y, and Z or talk to us? One commitment that we made that we stand by to this day, that it doesn't matter how big we get in the industry, we will never ever forget where we came from and how we started, and what we do as a brand, like answering DMs, answering emails, getting on podcasts, doing we go. Joe will tell you we're on 3 or 4 herfs a week. We go on a weekly herf on Friday nights usually, for the most part. Like, obviously, with our time, if we have the availability to do so with our normal everyday lives, but we're constantly in the community, and that's something for us that's never going to change. That's something that we hold close to our heart, man. Like, we've made so many friends. We make, like, even guys like you, like, we've never met, in person, but, to be able to have a friendship with people in the industry and being able to do stuff like this. And, social media is a huge outlet for the cigar industry. As much as we get shit on and we get regulated and all this bullshit that goes on, and we get shut down and you're not allowed to be part of the algorithm or boost posts and all this other shit, but we still find a way at the end of the day, man. And for us, I mean, without social media and doing shit like this, man, how many people you're basically local unless you're traveling every single week, or you got people traveling for you pushing your brand. And listen, we have reps that work for us at this point, but to get out there and do things like this and get exposure to different groups and bring in more people and us to kind of like gravitate people towards you. And Mick, you were talking earlier about how many people you got for the subscribers on Instagram and YouTube. It's all a mutual thing, right? It's we're getting we're getting your fans, you're getting ours, and vice versa. And that's one of the things about the industry that I absolutely fucking love. I love it.
I will first say bravo for that, and thank you for saying you won't ever change, because that's one thing that Charles and I pride ourselves on. When we first started on this, we said we would never script an interview. I mean, we got a few talking points and we got a few things to lead conversations, but
absolutely,
we will never script one, and we will keep everything real, and we'll always respond to everything, because we want to remember where we came from. Like, we didn't get in this to get big or to get rich. We want to have fun with this and learn about the people that we care about in the industry. And so far, it's been a pretty great run.
Yeah, man, you guys are killing it. I've watched pretty much almost every interview you guys have done, and you know what? 17 is a good number for me and Joe. I said that earlier. 17 is my number, so
sweet.
I'll take on your 17 all day.
I will tell you one pinnacle moment like I had when I said, "Man, we're really making it." Is we did a special blend for Barclay Rex here in New York City, which is the oldest cigar shop in New York City. They were around like 120, 130 years.
Wow.
It's right in the
thought it was a pipe shop.
Right in the financial district, right by Wall Street. And we did this release party on Memorial Day weekend at Labor Day weekend, and we had an impromptu block party where we shut down the street. We literally, there were so many people. We were on the street. There was a DJ. People were coming over that didn't even know the Cigar Clowns, buying sticks. It was the company's single biggest day in their register they ever had. And that's saying a lot, man.
That's amazing.
High-end joint. And like
for a craft brand.
And we had a barbecue. Like, we were having so much fun. I remember going, man, this is something special right here. We really got something. People coming from Jersey, Connecticut. We had a guy from Rochester, New York come. We had a guy from Delaware, Philadelphia. It was like, wow, we're bringing people to this lounge for this party, and it was like 5 or 6 hours, and it was a great time. It was a great time. That was like a pinnacle moment. That's unbelievable. I made some great friends, still in a lot of contact with a lot of the people. They still buy all our cigars, great thing.
Yeah, I'd say the cult following you guys have is almost like no other. I mean, honestly, like it's anybody that we've talked to over the years or that we respect their opinions in the industry continuously talk about you guys. So you're absolutely doing something right, and we love your sticks, man. So it's awesome.
Appreciate
that, man.
So I just asked you what was the cigar that kind of put it in your head, like, oh crap, we're doing something right. everybody we've ever talked to always has a cigar that they fell in love with. They thought was going to be the cigar and fell flat. Is there a cigar that you blended, that you worked with, and you're like, man, this is hitting me in every spot that just makes me hard, but nobody liked it? Or somebody liked it, but it didn't go over like the way you thought?
I'm going to say right now, the AVB. The AVB, we did a Halloween release, and a phenomenal cigar, man. We made a lot of them, and we even went crazy with it, right? It was Halloween trick or treat, so we did some closed foot. Most of them weren't closed foot, so in your 5-pack, if you got a closed foot,
one person, not to cut you off, one person got a 5-pack of all closed foots, which was rare. Rare.
We went crazy with the cigar. And, didn't sell, man, because Halloween, it's owned by Tatawahe, and everybody has a Halloween stick, so it fell flat. I mean, cigar's unbelievable. It does. People talk about it still to this day. The people that had it and smoked it, they're like, oh, that cigar's unbelievable. Like, yeah, man, it's on the drawing board. We're coming back to it. We're close to coming back to it. Maybe different name or something like that. It's a phenomenal blend. It just wasn't the right time, because we used to do limited releases,
And funny story with that is what Joe just touched on with the Halloween area of the cigar industry being such a tough marketplace, because it's very, not that it's, I don't want to use the word oversaturated, but it's kind of what's in my head at the moment, but it's a very, very big month for the cigar industry as far as, that genre that people kind of gravitate to. So which is the reason why we put out the Festivus, and we went to Christmas, even though it's the end of the market year and it's a little bit harder, the holidays, people. But I mean, listen, it's done very well for us, and we've done a different blend every single year, including this year coming up in 2025 for the 5th anniversary of the Festivus, and that's our specialty stick for the year. It's a limited run, only X amount of made per year. It comes out yearly. It's our yearly release that we do. It's not a core line. It's not, it doesn't get reproduced again. It kind of pays homage to where we started as far as doing these limited releases, and still doing a limited release listen, there are things like we did with what's Doc and Bernie. We did for Toro, the event stick. I mean, we still do the Clown Files. We still do those limited drops, and we'll do with either a shop or a group like we did with Doc and Bernie. But I mean, that's our limited release that people do in October. For us, we do it in December, just to kind of, again, we've always kind of built our reputation on trying to be a little bit different in the industry. We're still that, Joe says it all the time, we're still that small fish in the pond, but we want to kind of stand out in a different way, and that's worked for us, right? And it's been highly successful, every release that we've done. I actually just said it recently. I'm like, the first one that we ever did, because it's nostalgic for me, was always my favorite. Not that the other ones that we've released after that aren't, but this year's Festivus that we released this year, to me, topped the first one, because I'm still smoked. I still have a bunch of them. I have a bunch of them from when we first got the testers that are unbanded in my humidor right now. That I don't even have that. I don't even banded. That wouldn't even go out to release. They're like a part of our, collective of cigars that we get when we do our testing. So, I mean, I'm probably at this point, I'm going to end up going to grab one of them in a little bit. But, it's something that we come out with every year, and it's like our staple, limited production cigar. And again, it's for us releasing in December, and the time of year, it's a little bit rougher in the industry, because everything's kind of slowing down at the end of the year into the new year. But it's worked for us, and it's gotten a lot of high praise, and it's something that we look forward to doing every year.
Oh yeah, I think it's a great strategy as well. Like it's like you said, it's kind of hard sometimes around Christmas, but it's obviously worked for you guys, and it's something we all look forward to every year. So it's definitely built that pattern of you guys releasing something towards the end of that year. I did want to ask. I believe I might be wrong on this, but Ray, you do the artwork for the bands?
I do.
I want to give you props for that as well, man. I'm a little bit of an artist myself, and I do a lot of drawing and painting. Okay, but your bands are banging, because I'm like, I get drawn. I mean, obviously, it's the first thing that you look at when you're looking at a cigar, and sometimes that does make my decision in a shop on what I'm buying. But I mean, yours are usually hard to
Fair
find,
enough.
so that's a little different. But honestly, I do enjoy them, and I think Chaffee said that you did the Goldie Grace one. So yeah, it's awesome,
I mean,
man.
for me, I appreciate that immensely, because you know what, it's all self-taught. You know, and I say this, I've said this before, and for me, like, I don't know if we never got involved in the industry, if I would have ever tapped into that thing that I had in here that I never knew that I had. I was always drawn to, you know, different types of artwork, and you know, even with the band, even with our logo. You know, doing the research to do the logo, and I always had a love. I'm covered in tattoos. I mean, obviously I'm wearing long sleeves, but I'm covered in tattoos, and I love tattoo art. And I've always been drawn since adolescence to like the cholo art, like the you know the cholo Latin, you know, California based clown paint stuff like that. So when we were kind of doing, when I was kind of researching, because we kind of wanted to. We didn't want to get involved in any legalities as far as like the Tilly Clown is concerned, even though it's 100 years old. We kind of wanted to have our own identity when we were kind of going to go full scale into this. So it was kind of like the drive to come up with our own logo. And I was always so drawn to that. And I presented it to the guys, and, you know, selling them what I'm telling you guys now as far as like what it looks like. And I think it kind of fits, you know, us as a collective. And, you know, again, for me, it's something that I don't think I would have never known that I had inside. And it's like one of the things when Joe and Danny say, yo, we need a band. We got this project coming up. And sometimes the cigar dictates the band. Sometimes the band dictates the cigar. It depends on the situation. You know, it depends on what we're kind of working, what we're looking for. Like when we were doing the Goldie Grace project, you know, we were kind of up at a point we only did one female clown, which was the Paisa, which is way in our infancy. And I kind of wanted to go back in that direction. And, you know, talking with Justin, we got on a call. We were on a call for like 3 or 4 hours on Zoom, just me and him, just shooting the shit when we were kind of getting the ball rolling with the whole Goldie Grace project. And I had just watched for the 9,000th time Sin City. I'm big into the graphic novels. And I'm like, dude, I love the whole like noir, you know, that whole vibe for that whole, you know, even the comic book series and all that stuff. And I'm like, I want to do like this vigilante, like, you know, 40s based, you know, and you know, with your guys' logo incorporated. And you guys have seen the band, obviously, and you had them on. And, you know, I wanted to incorporate some of their aspects of what they represent and us be representing. And, you know, incorporating the Freedom Fighter with the, you know, the Bloody Knuckles is her hands, which is one of their logos for their cigars, which is on her hands, which is the Bloody Knuckles. And just having her as like that vigilante aspect. And, you know, have the police car in the background, you know, with the whole thing with human trafficking and putting their logo on the old school 40 stop police car, and then up our name up on one of the billboards, and then, you know, using the name, you know, from the actual movie Goldie, you know, and then with the blonde hair, and, you know, it just kind of all came to fruition. And then putting the, you know, ended on it, the hashtag ended on it with the X, which is the logo for the, you know, the fight against human trafficking. It was such a fun project. But like for me to sit there, and I you know, Joe will tell you, I love that shit, man. I'll sit on the fucking internet for hours and take things and pull things and kind of go in the apps and stuff that I have and just kind of tweak it. And it's all, like I said, it's all self-taught. I don't fucking have a degree in graphic design. I've never studied graphic design or any shit like that. But the more and more I got involved in it, and the more and more I kind of found my way in that aspect, it opened up like this part of my brain that I didn't know that I had locked away. And I enjoy doing that shit. So when I was hearing somebody who's an artist and does shit like that, it means a lot.
Well, I'm more of the actual hands-on painting, drawing, art kind of guy. Charles is like the digital art guy. He does all, like, pretty much all of every sticker we do and all the stuff we send out. But just hearing you talk about that, man, gives me chills. Like that's just all the thought process that went into every little step of that. I mean, it means a lot to you, but when you look at it, you know it all comes together. It's fucking outstanding, brother.
Appreciate that, bro.
I will say that when the Goldie Grace was coming out and you guys were hitting all the different podcasts and stuff like that, and you were doing some raffles, I tried every way I could to get to win the posters, because the artwork on that, was fantastic. All the artwork that was done on there was exactly, you know, up my alley, and, you know, it was fantastic. You guys you did a great job.
Appreciate that.
I still have the poster for Justin and Crystal. I just never gave it to them, man. It's so.
I believe they mentioned that.
Yeah, I go to Florida all the time time. And every time I'm in Florida, I see them, and I'm like, shit, I forgot to fucking bring the poster. I'll give it to them soon. Yeah, I'm the worst with that shit.
So how many different, like, I guess markets, but how many different areas are you guys in? How many different places do you guys have your cigars right now?
We're growing rapidly. I can tell you that much. I don't have a hands-on count right now, but I say it's in the neighborhood of like 70 shops across the country.
Nice.
We're in a couple of major retailers. We're in Smoke Inn. We're in Cigars Daily. Companies with a big online presence.
Oro, OGT.
OGT, yeah, Oakland Tobacconist. Of course, we're in the Cigar Vault. My boy Norm over there.
Oh yeah.
We're up and down the East Coast. We're in where are we now in? What's that? We're in the only shop in
Minnesota.
Is it Montana, Minnesota? No, Montana or something? I don't know.
Minnesota.
No,
North Dakota.
North Dakota. Yeah, we're in the only shop in North Dakota. We're going to be going into Utah pretty soon. We just got to get the licensing all buttoned up on that. We're in California. We're all over
California.
Texas. Yeah, Texas.
So is there any shops or any markets or states that you guys have hit that completely shocked you? Like, oh my God, we actually got in here.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's on my wall.
Yeah, man.
Oh, nice. That's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, shops that we can't believe we're in, like Smoke Inn, Cigars Daily, can't believe, that's making it right there. Yeah, it's me,
Hell yeah.
But we aim to go to the boutique friendly shops. We want to deal with the guys like Norm and the guys like Mike and the guys like Eric and a whole bunch of other great tobacconists that know their customers and their customers trust them when they hand them a cigar like, hey, Charles, you should try this cigar tonight. If it's a Cigar Clown or if it's a Lore or if it's an Ishtik or if it's, whatever cigar it is, like, I think you're going to like this. And the customer lights up the cigar and smokes it and goes, man, you were right. Or like, this is not for me. It's like, well, what didn't you like? Or what did you like about it? I can recommend this. Like when you go into a shop and the tobacconist knows you and starts to know your palate, the industry just explodes, right? Because then you're fine tuning it. Then you're becoming a leaf off this guy's branch, and you're learning about different cigars, some that you would just pass by, you would never smoke. You just don't like the way it looks, or you don't like the factory it came from for whatever reason. But when you get these tobacconists that know what they're talking about, it's a great thing. It really, really is a great thing.
It's funny. I was just going to mention John Aldi. I was going to say somebody like him that actually. But I was with him last 2 Saturdays ago, and he's like, "Hey, try this. Hey, try this," because he knows my palate because of just being on the herfs, and we talk on here all the time. And it is a cool thing. But you're right. A great tobacconist, somebody who owns a lounge that actually you can trust. That's a huge thing, man. They'll push stuff to you that you may have walked by 10 times.
Yeah, John Aldi is a key part of the Cigar Clowns' growth. I will tell you that. He is, he's our guy, man. We love John.
Yeah.
I will say that John Aldi is a key part to our growth. I mean, he was the first person that on day one stepped out to start supporting us. And before we could even ask anybody to share anything that we were going to do something, he was already doing it. So.
And I will say I do use his beard oil every day.
As do I.
I use the butter. I use the butter.
Butter and oil.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
So let's go into you've put out over 30 cigars over the span of how many years have Cigar Clowns been putting together cigars?
2018,
okay, so,
but really 2020 is like.
Okay, so you've put out over 30 cigars, but you have 4 core line. Let's talk about your core line and what they consist of.
Yeah, man. So our core line is we have 3 cigars that are solely Cigar Clowns and one that's a joint venture. We have the King of Clowns, we have the Geppetto, and we have the Rodeo Clown, which we're smoking tonight. And then we have the Goldie Grace. The core line represents, what we really love in cigars, and what we feel the market will enjoy as well. So it's not only our palate, it's a consumer based palate, right? So we have our King of Clowns, which is our view of an old school Cuban-esque cigar, right? So like, old school, earthy, does have our new school flavor on it. We have a Mexican San Andreas wrap on it, so it brings our touch to what we think our grandfathers, our great grandfathers were smoking back in the 40s and 50s, right? It's that old school earthy cigar. Our Geppetto, one of my top cigars. It is Flavor Bomb Transitions. That's a cigar you can sit down with, have deep thoughts, and just fall in love with a cigar, man. Just want to think about a cigar and clear your mind and just get different transitions. Cigar you have to retro because you're just like, oh my God, what flavor is this? You're picking up a lot of transitions. The Rodeo Clown, of course, is our baby, right? We worked a long time on the Rodeo Clown. It's our fullest flavor, fullest nicotine cigar we offer. I'll let you guys say what you think about the cigar. You might not even like it. What's up, Nolan? And then the Goldie
Definitely
Grace.
like it.
Yeah, and the Goldie Grace is just special stick. I mean, Ray, you could talk more about them, but it's just that's just our current offerings right now. We're very happy with our core line. We're very happy with our manufacturing process. We're very happy with the tobacco we have. Being a craft cigar company, one thing you have to worry about is if you got to have access to the tobacco, right? Because we're not Drew Estate, we're not Oliva, we're not Placencia. We don't own the farms, so we got to make sure that we have access to it, and we have a product that we can sustain for 10 years or more of growth. And we are at a gazelle growth stage, right? So our orders are getting bigger, our clients are bigger, we have bigger buyers as clients. So we have to make sure when we're able to fulfill an order and not have something on back order for a year, because if that will kill a company like ours if we can't get our cigars out to market. So we have a very good supply in the States, and manufacturers are able to produce our cigars. That we have our core lines coming in within every 90 days. A different core line is landing to our facilities that we have. So we have
Those teeth for sure do know my answer.
I didn't say the question.
You can put that back up, Charles, if you want. Bring that comment back up because Joe knows my answer to that already.
Is there a way
no.
or a day coming when Joe talks Ray into a Candela?
I'll get him into it. Don't worry. Don't worry, boys. It might be the Hey Larry. Hey Larry.
I also need to go back to another comment. Did it actually say on there that we all have John Aldi's jizz on our face? Is that what it said in the comment?
Really?
That's what it said, I swear.
Okay with that.
Yep, there it is. Yep. Free advertising.
Chris is another one of our guys. This is good people.
So, do either of you have a cigar in your core, or one that you've done a small run of that is something that you kind of have your own little stash of that's your go-to constantly?
I mean, I start my day every day with a King of Clowns or a Geppetto.
Okay.
Every day. That's my go-to, both of those cigars.
Best of this 2024.
So this is one that I asked to everybody on here, and it's my go-to question. If I'm going to have a day where I'm going to smoke through the profile of your or the core line of your cigars, give me a recommendation of where to start, where to end, and what could I pair it with, whether it's either food or drink.
King of Clowns in the morning, cup of coffee, black coffee, just a good cup of coffee. You know, that's the way to start the day. Then you can move into a Goldie Grace, like a mid-morning snack, right? Quick smoke, 45 minutes, break time smoke. Then I would say go into it, after work, get home, nice, you pour yourself a cocktail, have a Geppetto. Then after dinner, after a nice heavy dinner, nice steak or something, end your day with the freaking king, with the rodeo clown. Right? That's
for me.
Mm-hmm.
I would do King of Clowns, like Joe said, one a nice double espresso. Kind of start the day. I think it kind of touching on what Joe said. I think it's an introduction to the old world of cigars, right? It can kind of gravitate towards your older style cigar smoker as far as old world cigars are concerned for us in our profile. And then kind of gravitating towards Goldie Grace I would do with like a maybe a little shaken espresso or a latte, like a Starbucks latte, or if you like a boutique cigar place, because a coffee place, because there's a lot of those in New York. So you can get yourself a nice little flavored latte with like caramel or hazelnut, can kind of go good with bring out those flavor profiles in the Goldie Grace. Geppetto for me, if I'm doing Geppetto, I would kind of go into the, I like a nice IPA, which I'm actually drinking now with the Geppetto. And for Rodeo Clown, for me, I'm a Scotch drinker. I'm a Johnny Walker guy. A nice little double black to kind of enhance that heaviness in the rodeo with the the transition of the rodeo and the little full body of the rodeo to kind of bring out more of that earthiness out of it. Because it's got a little bit of sweetness and earthy sweetness into it too, and kind of go back and forth with the the liquor aspect on it. I mean, I think that would kind of be my kind of thing with it. So I like what drinking my IPAs. So,
what IPA are you drinking tonight?
What am I drinking? I am drinking, I think, Barrier. What am I drinking?
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Barrier. Yep, I'm drinking Barrier. Pour.
Okay. I'm a big IPA guy myself, man. And
I just got into, not to cut you off, but I kind of just got into IPAs over the past couple of years. I never liked IPAs. Okay. I hated IPAs. So I say this all the time too. I think another thing for me, being in the cigar industry, my palate has become so elevated when it comes to either foods or liqueurs or coffee or beer, and it's kind of opened my palate to the things that I never really kind of were into earlier on in my life. So IPAs, I thank smoking cigars and tasting cigars and doing all the cigars that we do and kind of enjoying an IPA more so now, because I kind of understand the whole aspect of the IPA, because IPA it's an acquired taste. Scotch is an acquired taste. Bourbon is an acquired taste, right? So for me, like, I'm not a bourbon guy. I don't do bourbon. I'm not a bourbon guy. It's not really for me. Yeah, I'm not a bourbon guy. It's not for me. Scotches all day. I'll do different types of scotches, whether it's Balvenie or, again, I like my blended scotches, which is Johnny Walker, but I think it's kind of opened my palate to different things, and it makes me taste things in foods. Listen, my entire life, and my mother will laugh, my entire life, I hated mushrooms. Hated them. Hated the texture. Hated the taste. Wouldn't touch them. Not for me. If I had a chicken or a veal marsala, I'm pushing the mushrooms to the side. If they're stuffed mushrooms, I'm only eating the stuffing and not the mushroom. But now, being 40, just turning 42 last month, like I love portobello mushrooms now, and there are things that I attribute that to the cigar industry, being able to open up my eyes and open up my palate to different flavor profiles. So it's kind of a cool thing being a cigar smoker and being able to enhance my palate. So it's opened my eyes to a lot of different things and trying different things. I mean, I'm always willing to try things once. So
Absolutely. No, I agree completely. I'm more of a rum or a tequila guy if I'm pairing it with a cigar. I've recently gone down a rabbit hole with rums. I've gotten Charles into tequila, which is kind of cool. But I equate almost every I equate almost every bourbon or whiskey to bad experiences with Jack Daniels in my teens and early 20s. I can't get past that. I know there's good ones. I know there's not good. I just can't get there with it. But IPAs, that's always been my thing. I brewed beer for years, and I love a good hazy, man. There's nothing like it. And the Northeast is the best place for them. So.
Yeah, I mean, my dad was a Jack Daniels drinker, man. It wasn't for. I tried it. It just wasn't for me, and
me neither.
I gravitated towards. I gravitated towards Scotch. And I've actually opened up my palate to tequilas too over the past couple of years. So I mean, for me, I definitely get where you're coming from. Like, if my go-to, I'm half Irish, so I love my Jameson. So I'm a Jameson guy. When I go out somewhere, it's Jameson and ginger on the rocks. You know, I'll do shots of Jameson. You know, I like the Irish. I like Tullamore Dew. I like Redbreast, which Danny put me on to. You know, I like there's certain Irish whiskeys that I will drink, but bourbon, I can't. I've tried it. I've tried to give it a chance multiple times. It's just not. It's not for me, man. It's not for me.
With you.
I will say that usually when we do cigar reviews, Mick does his on the show, and I will always smoke 2 cigars. I'll smoke the last one usually either the day before or a couple of days before. But it's it's a scheduled free time. It's always first thing in the morning. So literally went and dropped the kid off at school. Got back to the house at about 10:30 after getting some paperwork done. So it's between 9:30 and 10:30 the other morning, and I'm lighting up the Rodeo Clown. Let's just say it was about halfway into it, and I was like, okay, here we go. So it got me going. I was ready for the rest of the day. I'll say that.
Oh yeah.
So the last thing I'm gonna say, the last question I have pretty much before we get into some hot box questions. We just started 2025. What is coming down the pipe for Cigar Clowns this year? What do you guys are looking forward to? What kind of is on your radar, or what has you excited right now?
Well, I'll tell you, we're going into a brand new lounge next week. We're going into it's just doing the grand opening of his lounge, and Cigar Clowns is on the wall. So I will say,
very nice.
That's pretty exciting. You know, good luck to my boy Ish over there.
He doesn't need luck. He's gonna kill it.
Yeah. Well, you know, so that's definitely exciting. Goldie Grace coming back out probably second week of March. Hey Larry. You know, just gotta leave it off as Hey Larry. Everybody knows Larry Moose. We're working on a blend for Larry. So it's gonna be called the Hey Larry. Let's go. Festivus might have special drop in November for the veterans again.
Royal Cigar Company Veterans Day event, which we attended last year.
Yeah,
nice.
You know, I look forward to getting out to a lot of shops this year. Definitely the Cigar Vault in Oakdale's on our radar to get out there.
Shout out to Cigar Vault.
Yeah, definitely looking forward. There is the boutique or the craft cigar thing in Georgia this year that we're going to be going to
in September.
Yeah, there's a lot of good things this year. The clowns gonna have a lot of fun. That's for sure. Clowns gonna have a lot of fun. It's gonna be a good time to be with the clowns. That's for sure. So, sorry, that was.
I don't know if Mick is talking, but if he is, nobody can hear him. But I'll let him figure that one out.
I think the Cigar Vault, you know, I know you guys have a 10% off coupon, but
we do.
They use it. I think if they use the word clowns, they get 15% off for a Cigar Clown purchase this. I'm pretty sure. I just need to double check. If you guys don't mind, let me double check the code. Give me 1 second. Sorry.
Take your time. Hurry up.
Yeah, hold on 1 second. 15th. I know it's Clowns 15. You get 15% off at the vault. So I don't know if that hurts your marketing thing, but for your listeners right now, Clowns 15 at the vault. Cigar Vault Oakdale. That's the cigarvault.com. Get the Cigar Clown sticks. Let's go.
Norm just put on here at Mick confirming you saw the discount code lounge is loud. Sorry if you mentioned it. Not quite sure, but that one is. If we have a new discount code, we will figure it out and go. But
that's Norm's Clowns 15 for this for the Cigar Clowns. I believe that's what he's talking about.
There we go. Clowns 15. So 15% off of some clown cigars if you use the code lounge. That's even better than ours. So awesome. Mick, are you back with us? You are not back with us. Yeah.
Gotta rejoin, babe.
It could be his earbuds or whatever he is used to connect with, because they tend to go out. So I will say this. We had you on our TriStar Herf not too long ago, but it was one of the ones that we absolutely enjoyed having you on there. And then when we saw you on, I guess it was, Black Pearl podcast now, but it was Cigar Dudes. And it was just that y'all made the comment that we need to have y'all on there. It's like, oh, hell yeah, we've been waiting. So it's good to connect back with that.
Absolutely.
I got some Black Pearl in my hands right now. Cool pre-release.
Oh, really?
Well, how you doing?
Save me one sec.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, let's go. I gotta smoke that tomorrow morning.
Which one do you have?
I think it's the whole lineup. Hold on one second.
Oh, cool.
Hold on 1 second. I have the Sulu, the Banda, and I can't read the other name. Rublies or Bublies? Hold on. They look like delicious cigars. The Celibates.
Black Pearl is on here, and they say, "What's up?" Thanks, bro.
Let's
Awesome.
go. We're excited to smoke these, boys. Let's go.
Guys, if you want another great podcast to listen to, go check them out. They are absolutely fantastic. It's one that I try to get on constantly and listen to. So I absolutely enjoy listening to those guys.
I have jumped on their podcast many times. Uninvited. Let's go.
I'm always in the comments.
Am I back?
Yeah, you're back.
Yes, sir.
Holy shit.
Nick, what'd you say?
What? Huh? Who are you? Where are you? We can't hear you. All right, so we're going to go ahead and jump into the final set of questions, the hot box questions. But before we do that, excuse me, we have to thank some people. So our sponsor for the hot box questions is Beard Apothecary. Beard Apothecary is a small business dedicated to crafting high-quality beard care products made in small batches to ensure freshness and attention to detail. Proper beard care is essential for maintaining a healthy, well-groomed beard, and using only premium butters and oils is crucial. These high-quality ingredients deeply nourish the hair and skin, preventing issues like dryness, irritation, and split ends. Beard Apothecary's commitment to using only the best natural ingredients ensures that your beard stays soft, manageable, and looking its best. Go check out beardapothecary.com or on Instagram at beard_apothecary. Your beard will thank you for it. And as everybody here just said, we are all using Beard Apothecary. I have one of those hanging in my car right now.
I keep one on me at all times.
One on you at all times. I just don't want to know where else you hang it from. Just saying.
You don't want to know.
Just
all right, guys. The hot box questions are 10 simple questions with maybe a bonus question, which Mick is very itching to ask at the end. But we'll give you both a chance to answer. Mick, start us off.
Unmute your mic.
Unmute your mic, my man.
I should really just go home, shouldn't I? Fuck. All right. Favorite sports team.
Favorite sports team?
Yeah.
Or teams?
Okay.
Either way.
Teams is fine.
Knicks, Rangers, Giants, Yankees.
I'm a Rangers, Yankees, Jets.
Cool.
Sorry, my Jets suck.
I'm about to ask this to two guys from New
The
York.
Giants are so much fucking better.
I'm about to ask this next question to two guys from New York, so this is going to be great. What's your favorite cuss word?
I mean, are there curse words in New York? I mean, it's just part of our just
Sentence enhancer.
yeah. It's you know, you can use fuck a whole bunch of different ways.
I like twat waffle.
That was mine.
Wow,
I like twat waffle. That's a good one.
Yep. That was one of mine. Yep.
There you go.
Awesome. All right. Aisle seat or windows?
I'm an aisle seat guy. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I'll do aisle seat too.
I'll see all day long. All day long. Fuck that. You're not cooping me up in a corner against a window.
Nobody puts baby in the corner.
Nobody puts me in the corner. I want to get up. I want to fucking protect my row. Like, I'm the first guy. I protected my row from the guys behind us. You ain't fucking busting through me, man. Fuck you at the end of the day. We're all getting out. Everybody, both sides. Everybody's coming out before me, then I'm going. How you doing? I'm getting down people's bags, too. Here's your bag. Here's your bag. Okay. And if you got to go a few rows behind me to get your bag, you're fucked. You're back there. See you. Pound rocks, pal.
That'll work. So, do either one of you have a favorite joke? Oh, I like the laugh.
But it's not safe for work.
Yeah, yeah. I like dark humor.
There you go.
Yes, there are many favorite
We're going to pass on that.
We're gonna pass on.
Why do blondes wear panties? Keep their ankles warm.
Oh.
Oh yeah. All right, so here's a good one for you. Is cereal a soup?
It's cereal a soup?
Yeah.
That's a great
No,
question.
cereal.
Man. It's like
Just like there's two genders, cereal is cereal.
It's nutrition in liquid. I try to sell this every week, and I've only got like 3 people to change their mind. Nutrition.
Cereal.
That's an interesting way to look at it. I don't know. I can't see it. I mean, you do have cold soups, like watermelon soup and ceviche.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Cereal.
Ray sold it's fucking out.
No. Solid no on that. I'm a hard no.
I agree.
Question number 6. If you could switch lives with any fictional character, who would it be and why?
Ooh. I would say Batman. Batman is the greatest crime fighter of all time.
Nice.
Oh, fucking Batman.
Mm-hmm.
Say fucking Harry Potter, bro.
There you
You can do
go.
whatever you want. This is your world, babe.
Fuck that, man. I'd be fucking doing some crazy wizarding shit all day long.
I agree 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, so kind of tying into that, what superpower would you want and why?
Do I need to say more being invisible? Let's go.
Mind reader.
Mind reader.
All right.
I'll
It would
be
make
I know
relationships
what people
easier.
are thinking.
That's one way to completely end a relationship. Be a mind reader.
I want to know what you're thinking.
So I'm kind of scared where this one's going to go. What special skill or talent do either one of you have that most people don't know about? And that your significant other cannot say?
This is rough. This is rough.
I can't say.
Use your imaginations, everyone. Just use your imaginations.
I'm good at what I do. Let's put it that way.
That's what she said.
How you doing?
All right. Would you rather accidentally send a nude to your mom or your boss?
My boss.
Yeah, I'm not sending nudes to my mom.
Not sending to my mother. No. No.
All right. So my
She
last
probably
question
laugh,
is
but no.
my last question is my favorite. What is the best piece of advice you've ever been given?
All right. I got this one. My old man told me when I was younger. I used to hang out with a lot of guys. He told me, you see your hand, you have 5 fingers. You will never have 5 true friends in your life. Just make sure the people you're true to will be true back to you. And that's, I do not have 5 true friends. I got a lot of great acquaintances, a lot of people I can rely on, but there's very few guys I can call in the middle of the night and be like, hey, bring garbage bags and a shovel. I can trust.
Just let you know, I'm Joe's pinky finger. Just throwing it out there.
He's the
For
stinky
me,
pinky.
Dude, and you know what? For me, it's Joe when it comes to business. When you're in a meeting or you're listening in business aspect, you always listen before you speak.
How many? What do you got? You got 2 what? 2 ears?
2 ears and 1
ears?
mouth.
1 mouth. Fire.
That's
the best piece of advice I've ever gotten.
That was mine as well. I told Charles that when we ask each other these questions, listen to understand, not to respond. And that's gotten through a lot in business and in life in general. So, yeah, that's a great one.
That is a great one.
All right. So I will say this. I'll give you guys the option. There is a bonus question that does not get asked too often. Are you willing to take on Mick's bonus question?
Bring it on.
I think it's the 3rd time I've been allowed to do this. There's some people who could not get away.
You got the horn.
Right. Would you rather be jerked off by a silverback gorilla or have to jerk off a silverback gorilla?
I'd rather jerk off a silverback gorilla.
Wow, that was fast.
I don't want that thing touching my meat. No good. No good. I don't want that. I don't want that. No.
That thing can happen both ways. So it is a little deeper than maybe you're making it, but you're right. I mean, it could go way wrong that way.
I don't want those. I don't want those mitts on my shit. Fuck that. No. Nope. What pleasure.
Bravo, brother. Bravo.
Fuck that. That's not even that was easy.
I just like the look on Joe's face when as soon as you asked that. I think that was if I could have that expression blown up and put on a poster, that would be great.
I think Ish last week we asked Ish and he goes, "How much is a gorilla paying me?"
Fuck that, man. That is not going near my job. I'm not getting near that fucking thing.
Love it.
All right. Well, Hotbox Questions was brought to you by Beard Apothecary. Go check them out online at beardapothecary.com or on Instagram at beard_apothecary. Everybody over here will 100% vouch for the quality of their products. So, guys, before we let you guys jump off here, let everybody know where they can find you, best places to find your cigars, any last closing information that you want everybody to know about you. The floor is yours.
If you're looking for our cigars, go to cigarclowns.com. Of course, the Cigar Vault in Oakdale carries them, sponsor your show. So we want you guys to support Norm, and you can go there and get our cigars. But we are in shops locally, probably where you live, man. So, we're becoming a household brand. So check us out, brother. Post, email us, DM us. We'll get right back to you. Jump on
Instagram, Facebook.
Yeah. Join the Cigar Clowns. Let's go. We want you. We want you to hurt.
I'm sorry. I mean to cut you off. Charles may have asked us why I was having audio issues, but if you guys ever want to promote something or come back on and have something coming up or coming out, please get with us. Let us know, or DM us. Yeah. We'd be glad to collaborate with you and get your stuff out because we love what you're doing.
Yeah, man. Once the Goldie Grace goes live, I'm gonna jump on here with Justin and Crystal, and we're gonna fucking do that. We're gonna do a little media tour, and you're definitely on the top of the list when it comes to that if you'll have us.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
We 100% appreciate it. Well, guys, we appreciate you jumping on here. You're some of our favorite people to talk to, and love everything that you guys are putting out. So keep up everything that you're doing, and we look forward to talking to you guys again.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
Thanks, guys. Y'all have a great night.
Appreciate
as
it.
well.
Well, that was fun. That was awesome.
Oh yeah.
Always a good time to talk to these guys. We have a couple of things that we need to do real quick. Anybody who's watching, if you want to, go ahead and type in Real Smoke in on YouTube. Type in hashtag Real Smoke. We're about to draw. We have two $25 gift certificates to the Cigar Vault in Oakdale, and that way you can pick up all the different boutique cigars that you want and grab you a handful of some Cigar Clowns cigars. So go ahead and type that in right now. I'm going to go ahead and start getting things set up. So Mick, go ahead and keep talking while I get things done, because it's going to take a minute. So
oh man, gotta find random shit to talk about.
Nah. So
right,
what did you think about it tonight? What do you think about the boys? See you, Joe.
I will say it was definitely a great interview, man. I say this every week, brother. We either getting really lucky or we're getting decent at this, because it's just everything goes very seamlessly. The guys were fucking awesome. I truly love getting to know the people behind the brand, and hopefully everybody out there also gets that inside information we didn't know before. I mean, I learn something every week when we do this, and it's just a blast.
Well, I will say that make sure that everybody types in Real Smoke in the comments, and we're going to go ahead and draw. We're going to go ahead and spin the wheel. Remember, if you guys are on here, you need to let us know that you're on here, and we will get some information from you. So the first one, let's go right now. What do we got? Who's going to be the first person to win $25 gift card from the Cigar Vault? Let's find out. It's going to be Jason. Jason, are you on here? If you are on here, please let us know that you are on here. I'm hoping.
I believe he was on last week. Did he?
Computer does not crash again. Which.
Oh.
I'm not sure.
I think he was at the Cigar Vault last week with Norm. Could be wrong.
Let's see. He is here. Jason, you are here. Jason, do you have an Instagram account? If you do, let us know what it is. Oh, he did. He said back to back. Dang. You are with Cigar Vault, right?
He was at the Cigar Vault last week. Not sure if he's there tonight, but he may be.
Maybe. We'll
I hear they have cool things up for TV on Thursday nights at the Cigar Vault, so that's cool.
From what I hear, they have a great turnout on Thursday nights. So go ahead and Jason, get up with us. Let us know and your information, and we'll get up with you. We have one more to give away. Let me go ahead and write that down really quickly while he is doing his thing.
I will say.
All right, he is Punchline Guy 70. All right, Jason, do me a favor. Hit me up with your information. That way we can get it turned in.
I will say Devin's garage is not near as warm as the Abbey, but Devin has been bringing me beer all night. So not only is he a Patreon supporter, he brings me beer. It cost me a lot less money. I probably made money. It's been great.
Devi Poo, we love you for giving your garage to Mick tonight, because Mick kind of got shut out, which we gotta talk to the man about that one, because that can't happen. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and one more time make sure you get in hashtag Real Smoke, and we will give away the second $25 gift card. Let's see. Let's draw again. Who we got? Oh, we got a lot of names that jumped on there this time.
Good.
Mitch, holy damn! Here we go. We got Mitch. Just Uncle Mitch.
Uncle Mitch.
Very good. Yeah. So Mitch, are you on here? If you're not on here, there he is. He says, "Woohoo!" Hey, Mitch, send me a message on Instagram. I got some information I have to get from you. That way we can get it turned in, and that so they can get your information. But make sure that you pick up some great, fantastic cigars from Cigar Clowns.
Oh yeah, at the selection for the Cigar Vault Oakdale, I have lost time just scrolling through everything. Mitch, you're going to get lost in that website. It's a great one, so enjoy that. It's going to be a journey, man. They have so many great cigars there.
All right, so we get to do what always terrifies me, and we get to give a cigar rating to the cigar that we smoked tonight. So, are you ready for that one?
Are we going to be close again? Let's see how this goes.
I don't know, but I will say this cigar review is brought to you by TriStar Herf Crew, #1 Instagram, online, social media, in-person social cigar club that's out there. We are a cigar club that started in the great state of Tennessee and have now branched out to almost 20 states, and we are also in Honduras. We have members from all over. We love to get together. We like to meet in person a couple times a year, but we get together at least once a week online and get to shoot the shit and have a good time. We do what we do on here. We also have some live guests. We just had Mayfield Cigars on last week and got to learn about their cigars, and they're going to be on the podcast here soon. I just got a confirmation. So we will have them in April. So if you're interested in a cigar club, we call it a social cigar club, which means we are social online, social media, social in person. If you are interested, check us out. You can go online and check us out, tristarherfcrew.com, or on Instagram at tristarherfcrew. So check us out. Are you ready to give this review, my brother?
I think I am.
All right. As always,
let me guess.
You go first.
All right. So I'm going to start off by saying the ash held almost 3/4. Amazing construction. Stacked dimes the whole way through. 0 touch-ups. I mean, it was fucking razor sharp the entire way through. I was trying to get the ash the whole way to the band. I almost made it until I wore it on my shoe, but it was phenomenal. Start out with that. So aroma from the body, I got baking spices, light molasses. Aroma from the foot was a pungent barnyard cocoa. The taste from the cold draw, pepper, a little cream, and some light sweetness. First third, I got toasted oak. Sorry, can't read my own writing. Toasted oak. It was a little bit woody. Gentle spices. A little bit of light earth in it. Some natural tobacco sweetness. It was bready. It had that breadiness to it, which I really like. And definitely a little bit of brown sugar in there. Second third, again, it was oaky, a little bit woody, baking spices. Still got that brown sugar and breadiness, and a little bit of light coffee. The final third, I got a little bit of dark chocolate, maybe some butterscotch in with that brown sugar. It was still bready, mild earth, a little bit of coffee, a little pepper on the retro. So for the Rodeo Clown, for a pre-light experience, I gave it an 18 out of 20. Flavor enjoyment, I gave it a 14 out of 15. Construction characteristics, I gave it a 28 out of 30. Smoke production and final thoughts, 32 out of 35. 92.
You said 92?
Yes, sir.
All right. So let me go into mine. Aroma off the body, tobacco, chocolate barnyard. Aroma off the foot, sweet tobacco. Fig Newton bar. Got a slight Fig Newton. Taste off the cold draw, fig Newton, bready, molasses. First third notes on the light, woody, earthy, spicy. Retro is woody and black pepper. Into the first notes up front is an earth floral with a slight sweet note at the end. Retro brings flavor with notes of earth nuttiness, a slight sweetness or a floral sweetness, and cinnamon tingle on the sinus. Draw is a bit tight, burn is wavy and needed a slight touch up to correct. Ash is flaky and drops about every half inch or so. Smoke output is good, flavorful, with a medium finish and leaves a sweet aftertaste on the palate. Strength is about a medium starting out. Now, I will say this. It did kick up because I smoked this thing between 9 and 10 o'clock in the morning, which I would say, as these guys told you, I don't know if I would smoke it first thing in the morning. Into the second, notes are mainly earthy, nutty, followed by a less floral note, but now getting a dark chocolate note. The retro brings out an almond and floral sweetness, dark chocolate, and more sweetness at the end. The burn, no tingle. Draw, slight tight. Burn still wavy, slight touch up. Ash is still the same. Smoke output has gotten a bit thicker and more chewy. Finish is medium, still leaves you with a sweet note on the palate. Strength is moved up to a medium plus and more into full. New notes of coffee starting to come through at the end of the second third. Final third is the biggest change. Most of the bright notes and sweet notes have moved to a bolder dark note. Notes up front are now dark coffee, bitter dark chocolate, and earth. The retro is a lot of the same. Black coffee, dark chocolate, toasted wood, and earth. A draw has gotten a whole lot better. Burn is still the same, as well as the ash. Smoke is thick and full, and the finish is long and lingering. Strength is moved towards full with a slight nicotine buzz. Like I said, don't smoke it first thing in the morning. Definitely got that head rush. Even though there was a nicotine buzz, not a bad experience, though. So, pre-light experience. The appearance, I gave it a 10 out of 10. The aroma and cold draw, a 9 out of 10, which gave it a 19 out of 20 for pre-light experience. Flavor enjoyment, gave it a 15 out of 15. Absolutely love the flavors. Had no issues with it. I struggled between a 4 and a 5, but then when I sat back and thought about it, it's like, there's nothing that I'm not enjoying about this cigar. I mean, the flavors are there. Super great. Smoking construction characteristics. Construction, because I had a few burn issues, gave it a 9 out of 10. Draw, tight on me, gave it a 9 out of 10. The burn was my biggest upset about this one. I had issues with the burn. Both of them that I smoked, even the one I'm smoking tonight, had some burn issues. So I gave it a 7 out of 10. So smoking characteristics and construction, a 25 out of 30. Smoke production and final thoughts. Smoke production, I gave it a 4 out of 5. My overall experience was an 18 out of 20. Would I smoke this again? Hell yeah, I'd buy a box. So I gave it a total of 31 out of 35. For a grand total out of 100, I gave it a 90. So I gave it a 90. You gave it a 92. The Rodeo Clown from Cigar Clowns gets a combined score of a 91. So, hell yeah.
A lot of the same notes like we always have. That was fucking spot on. It was great. Again, you describe it better. But I will say, the only difference in our score was mine burnt fucking perfect and held that ash the whole way through. So, it was an outstanding fucking smoke.
See, that was my thing. I thought, the one that I may have had, that's why I always get more than one. So I smoked another one and still had some issues. And the one I had tonight had some burn issues. But if I wouldn't have had to correct any of the burn issues, yeah, it could have jumped up a point or two. So we could have been, you 92 and me 91, 92. But again, with a combined score getting a 91, that's a hell of a cigar, man. I mean, even, most of our scores are not scoring, much higher than that. So this is in contender. So for, one of our top 5s, definitely in our top 10s. So, great job, Cigar Clowns. I mean, you guys are knocking everything out of the park, and I absolutely enjoy everything you guys are having or making. So, great job.
Yeah, I'm excited about that Festivus for this year because now Bam's doing that one with them. The Festivus was already fucking outstanding. And now it's issues in on a little bit. I think I might have to.
I'm really interested to see what Ish brings to the table on this one, because you can't say, "Oh my goodness, I wonder if it's going to be good." I'm more along the lines of I wonder how good it's going to be.
You're fucking right. 100%.
Because you know it's going to be fantastic.
Yeah. Bang. Got to find some of them right away.
John's on here, says Ish is a wizard. Hey guys, I do want to say this. I absolutely have enjoyed, before Mick gets into Meanwhile in Memphis, but I wanted to just give everybody in the chat some props. I've been watching the chat go nuts and watching the conversations you guys have had and everything that people's contributed onto this one. You guys are rock stars. Absolutely love the fact that you guys, even you're not talking to us, you guys are talking to each other, and being able to sit back and read the comments in here. You guys are freaking fantastic. And we have a lot of the normal ones on here. I mean, we have John on here, just said Ish is a wizard. You guys got to hand it to John. John is the first person that gave us a shot. We absolutely love John. And we have all kinds of TriStar people on here tonight. And Ish is even still on here, says Batman is not a superhero. He's a billionaire. I would agree. Batman is not a superhero. He's a badass, normal dude who can just do everything. And he has a lot of awesome gadgets and gizmos and shit like that. So
that's great.
So are you ready for some Meanwhile in Memphis?
Yeah, man, I'm gonna preface this by saying it's gonna be my shortest one ever because there was a lot of stories this week, but they were all shit that I did not feel right having people laugh at. They're like kids getting accidentally shot and dumb shit that just happens down here, man. There was a lot of, I don't know how to explain it, but there was stuff that I was like, man, that's just sad. You know what I mean? And I found one that I thought was typical of what we do that I thought would be a good one. So it's the shortest one I've ever had, but that's what she said. But we'll go with it. So our only Meanwhile in Memphis for tonight starts out with woman with axe smashes window of Memphis daycare with over 60 children inside, police say. Memphis, Tennessee. A woman with an axe attacked a Memphis daycare with over 60 children inside, according to the MPD. MPD said the attack happened around 9 a.m. on Wednesday morning, yesterday, at the Global Children's Services on Walnut Grove. Here's the best part. A woman armed with a yellow axe handle struck several windows before speeding off down Walnut Grove Road, according to police. They said there were 68 children at the time of the attack. Witnesses told officers that the woman asked a bystander if the building was a homeless shelter. The guy said no. She then ran over and carried out the attack. She walked up to the daycare and she yelled, "This is my building," before smashing out 3 of the windows, according to a witness.
What the fuck?
The woman caused $8,000 worth of damage to the daycare's window. Nobody was injured during the attack. They are still looking for the woman. Yeah.
So I'm gonna say this for all the kids that got to witness this.
Emotional damage.
I just don't understand. She wanted to know if it was a homeless shelter. They said no, and then she walked up and smashed all the windows out. Like, I don't understand any of it.
She was just mad she couldn't have 3 hots and a cut.
Yeah,
but now she is.
She probably will soon if she's not already. But yeah,
I was about to say, it's Memphis, so she's gonna walk in and walk back out.
Yeah, she'll probably come visit tomorrow again. But yeah, I apologize, man. I looked through like 30 stories over the last 5 days, and all of them were just like made me sad, and they were not ones that I felt were great to laugh about. So I mean, this one's kind of fucked up too, but at least it was somewhat entertaining. I thought the asking if it was a homeless shelter thing kind of topped it off. So it is what it is.
Well, I will say this for we have some of our norms out here that we have like Mitch, who's outside Knoxville. We have John, who's in South Carolina. We have Ish, who is in Florida. There's got to be some more good stories. So if anybody who's listening has some good stories from your area, we say it every week, send it to the podcast channel on Instagram. Let us look at it. and it may be something that we read because it makes us feel good to know that there's more weird shit that happens that's not in the state of Tennessee. So if you guys got some, if you've got some good stories that you would like us to read, send it to the podcast Instagram page. Send it to us, and we will read it over and laugh hysterically and try to pick a couple to put on here. So
I guess if it's a slow week in Memphis, it's not a bad thing. I mean, honestly.
Yeah, but the bad thing is you talking about that there was a lot of stories. They were just so bad that you don't feel right talking about them. That's even worse. Yeah.
If I have a moral conscience on the stories that I'm going to read, just think how bad they actually are. I don't know if I want to put that out there. So,
well, to close up tonight, guys, if you are listening to us on YouTube, make sure that you are hitting the like button. Make sure that you are subscribing to us. We would love to have those numbers drastically go up. If you are listening to us on Rumble, do the same. If you're listening to us on one and not the other, hey, go sign up with the other one. Help us boost those numbers, get them up there. Love to thank some people real quick. You got Rebellion Cigars who donated the pink hat that will go to be given away sometime by the end of the week or first of next week. What else? Let's see. We have our sponsors. You got Beard Apothecary. Go check them out. If you're wanting that mane to look fantastic, go check out beardapothecary.com or check them out on Instagram at beard_apothecary. Go check out our cigar sponsor. I mean, their name's up here and will stay up here as long as they're willing to support us. We love them. Go check out the Cigar Vault in Oakdale by going to Cigar Vault, thecigarvault.com, or you can hit them up on Instagram as well at Cigar Vault Oakdale. If you go and buy some cigars from them, put in the discount code RealSmoke and save 10%. I do have a question. I'm excited. Are you excited?
I'm excited.
Next week. Who do we have next week?
We have, I think most people who are watching probably know this, but we have this guy, I think his name's Matt Booth. Matt Booth?
Yes.
Yeah.
My bucket list person to get on here. Oh, gosh, this is going to be fun. Next week, we have the one, the only, the myth, the legend. And I'm not talking about Mick this time. We have Matt Booth on with Room 101. So that is going to be a fantastic, crazy-ass episode. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what questions to ask. It's going to be fun.
So do preparing than I usually do, but I'm also going to say that I probably shouldn't because I've seen some of his interviews and it's going to be fucking nuts. We might as well not even try anything and just let him fucking roll, man. But it's going to be a blast.
Well, see, that's what's funny. I've seen some interviews where he's just been completely off the rails, but I watched the one that he did with Pick Jimmy, and he was serious. And I got a lot more from that episode that he did. And if you guys aren't listening to Pick Jimmy, go listen to Pick Jimmy. He's got some good stuff out there. But he did a rather serious one that I haven't seen him do before, and I kind of enjoyed it. So I fully expect to get a little bit of both. So who is co-hosting with Mick and Charles if after Charles faints?
Yeah, I don't know. Neither one of us know how this is going to go, but man, I'm excited. We've been working on this for a minute. We got every week. I feel like we got an amazing guest on it. All people coming up through the industry, but Matt is a special human, and we both enjoy what he brings to the industry. He just doesn't give a fuck, and it's going to be a great episode regardless. So we're super excited.
We also just got the confirmation this afternoon, and we posted in our Discord page for that group. Tim Ozinger just agreed to pick a date, and he's going to be joining us here soon. So we have a lot of people coming up over the next, we are now booking May, and we have a couple spots in May and a couple spots in June left. So we are now we're getting into midsummer booking people. So it's pretty awesome.
I don't know if you even saw today. We can talk offline, but we had like 3 people, friends, reach out today about 2 for sure. Reach out about getting on the show at some point. So I was like, you're just gonna have to wait a minute. Like I don't know. We'll get you on. Just give us a little time. So we appreciate all the support, everybody.
The one with Tim Ozinger is going to be a different of a podcast, not in the format, but it's going to be on a different date. So we will have to skip our normal Thursday for that one. It'll be actually on a Tuesday, just because it's the only time that he's available, because he does in-person events the latter part of the week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So he pretty much basically just told us that he needed the first part of the week, so we'll take care of that one. But again, we've got some good shows coming up. Huge thanks to the guys at Cigar Clowns. You guys were amazing. Loved having you on tonight. So any final thoughts before we wrap things up, buddy?
My final thoughts are, again, thank you to all of our Patreon sponsors, and special thanks to Devin, my Patreon sponsor. What's up, guys? For the night. And as always, take time this week, smoke a cigar with someone you love. And that's all I got, brother. It's been a great episode.
Awesome. Well, I will talk to you later. I'll be sending you some stuff as always, getting you ready for next week to start posting stuff. Hope everybody has a fantastic evening. Thanks, Dev, for bailing our brother Mick out. Definitely appreciate you for being able to do that one, because oh God, I didn't know if things were going to happen tonight. So hope everybody has a fantastic evening. Thanks to everybody who listened and watched. We will catch you guys next week.
Mick and Charles with the firelight glow, cigars in hand, watch the embers slow. Talking life and whiskey, it's a show. Real smoke rides the breeze just so. A puff of wisdom with a sip of fun, guiding through the shadows till the day is done. Inhale the stories, let the laughter run. Real smoke's how all the good times are spun. With a draw and a swirl, watch the worries fade. Mick and Charles got the cool parade. Cigars and tales and whiskey serenade. Real smoke where your troubles are mislaid.